Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's another Friday live stream. Wherever you're at right now, whatever time it is right now, write it down. This is when we do it every time, this day, Friday or Saturday for some of you guys. For me, it's Friday, 6:01 p.m. Pacific. So write it in your calendars, set your alarms, get your notifications. We do this every Friday, basically. I can't remember the last time I missed it. Maybe it was like a wedding anniversary or something like that. But I guess we'd have to wait maybe 5-6 years for that to cycle back. But anyway, hello and welcome, everyone. Good to see all our happy fam starting to arrive. And Fu Man Poo, I'm so sorry to hear about you breaking some ribs. Was it just today or yesterday? That sounds very painful. I've never had that happen, fortunately, but I know from others that it's a very unpleasant experience. So you said the painkillers aren't even really doing all that much for you. Well, we'll take more if it's safe. Do whatever you got to do there, food, to be as pain free as possible. Our thoughts go out to you, Pooh, out there in Florida in pain from broken ribs. So heal up and feel better, Fu Man Poo. Your phone also decided to reboot. Did you miss any brain surgery? No, just us wishing you a good time there. Hope you're feeling better, Fu Man Poo. Anyway, yeah, we're all here for you, Sarah. I agree with it. We're all here for Fu Man Poo, wishing him to feel better. Aaron Rich says, I'm not vegan, but I still love the show. Thank you so much, Aaron. I try to make our show as inclusive and friendly to everyone. You know, I'm not trying to offend people or say, hey, if you're not vegan, you're a horrible person or something like that. Because unless, you know, you were born into a vegan family, you weren't vegan your whole life. And even then, you weren't really vegan because you didn't decide for yourself that you're against animal cruelty and exploitation. Just as a baby and in the childhood, you were fed by your vegan parents plants, you know. But anyway, none of us were vegan for our whole lives. So anyway, I understand that. I'm not one of those level 5,000 vegans that thinks, oh, if I get into veganism, that means I can pretend, I can act like I'm better than everyone else and be a completely mean, horrible person. Yeah, some people are attracted to veganism because they believe it gives them some kind of free license for that. But what does my shirt say? It says vegan cult member. Get your shirts. Get our link. Actually, I should have that link to our shirts pop up. I think it pops up. I should just wait. Our chat bot, Streamlabs, our chat bot should link to that in about 5-7 minutes or so. Yeah, you can get them in different colors too, guys. Not just this one. I forgot. Angie mentioned all the various colors. I think there's 3, maybe 4 different colors of the vegan cult member shirt. I just have this one. But yeah, often on Fridays, our audience here, you guys, dons yourself into our official cult robes, the vegan cult member t-shirt. So yeah, join the cult, join the vegan cult. As a lot of haters say, yeah, join the vegan cult. Why not? I'll own it. I'm the vegan cult master here. So anyway, let's see. Did I miss any questions here? Aaron, just kind of curious if you don't mind sharing. Yeah, I'm glad you're saying you're not vegan. You still love this show, this live stream. Yeah, if you don't mind sharing, yeah. What about what we do here, what I do here attracts you, and you're not like turned off, you know, that I'm vegan. Or, yeah, I'm just kind of curious for that feedback there. That'd be cool. Marcos wants to know if I like horror films. Not really a vegan related question. This is the kind of question we usually answer after an hour or two or something like that, but I'll answer. I'm not a big horror kind of guy. I don't know what kind of genre, but I'm not into like horror movies that much. I mean, I like more psychological thrillers, like a Rosemary's Baby or something like that, you know, as opposed to like just, you know, slash and guts and gore kind of stuff, you know. I'm not a big action hero kind of movie either kind of guy. So I guess other genres other than those kind of ones. Let's see. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, I know that song, Fu Man Poo. You'd rather have a bottle in front of you rather than have a frontal lobotomy. I remember that from Dr. Demento. I think Peter, our moderator, is still in the United Kingdom. He went to the vegan camp out that he was looking forward to for like years. Got canceled last year. He's there. And let's see. Yeah, I thought I saw him in Glasgow showing a picture of like a restaurant that had Canadian food. He's from Canada. He thought the irony was kind of strange. Hey Johnny, no, I'm not into what's the action? Yeah, I'm not really even into action movies much. I like more chill movies. I don't know. Let's see. Like on my birthday, which was Friday, and I'm sorry, Monday, we watched Contact, the movie, that Carl Sagan wrote. He wrote the story. Jodie Foster, Matt McConaughey are the main actors and actresses. It's I guess that could be labeled an action movie, but it's kind of sci-fi at the same time. But yeah. Anyway, I have my own weird things I'm into. Let's see, Aaron. Yeah, about vegan. Okay, well, you were vegan about 5 years ago for about a year, and it just wasn't working for you. Maybe you didn't do it right, but you still appreciate happy people trying to better their health. Hey, cool, thanks. Yeah, veganism, yeah, it's not really a health thing. Maybe that's where you went off. Maybe you're following some like influencers or something like that, trying to turn veganism into this optimal health thing by having you eat kind of this maybe harder to follow and harder to process in your body diet. Yeah, we just eat whole food plants. You should check out our book, Aaron. Seriously, just simple whole food plants. You don't really got to do anything all that weird, eat raw food and get malnourished and die and stuff like that. Just simple whole food plants. I'll show you the first one in the book here, the Tuscan Kale Pilaf. It's just simple stuff, grains like some wild rice, some white beans, some sun-dried tomatoes, and kale, and probably forgetting a couple other things, some spices. Put it in, for us, the pressure cooker for about 21 minutes, and bam, it's done. So, it doesn't have to be a really difficult diet to follow, especially when you do it healthy. But I know some vegan influencers, I'm not saying all, but some vegan influencers that really push veganism as some kind of health diet often have some kind of weird things they're into, like raw food or who knows. I'm just saying there's, I often have red flags, but it's not always necessarily the case. Some are fine, some are ethical vegans as well. Hey, Dawn, thank you, Dawn Jackson, for the super chat.
The live stream, but happy birthday.
Thank you. This is officially my birthday week still, even though we had the birthday live stream last Friday. My birthday was Monday this week, so it's still appropriate. If you were not here last Friday, we can kind of celebrate it today a little bit. In fact, Angie and I did probably the last little tiny celebration for my birthday. Those of you that live on the West Coast may have heard of Plant Power Fast Foods, like a chain of fast food places that usually have drive-thrus too. Anyway, they give you a free milkshake on your birthday, and you have a week to use it. So I went today. We got the free milkshake, and Angie had some rewards points built up for a free meal or entree or whatever. So yeah, we got a pretty sweet birthday a funded a meal there, so birthday subsidized meal. So today was like my last little birthday lunch. We were going to do it yesterday, but we got sidetracked. I learned yesterday when I was out and about doing things that my driver's license had expired on my birthday on Monday. I'd been driving around like 3 days, and it was strangely really close to the DMV, and I went to it and I lost like 3 hours there because I had no appointment. It was a complete, it's like, just bummer experience. But anyway, enough of that. I've had a weird week. I've had like every day I've been dealing with unplanned, stressful problems, rectifying problems that have been arising. Yeah, I'll take credit for the DMV one. Angie, when she got back, because I had her, she was with me. She waited for me with me for an hour. I said, just take a lift back, because I'm going to be here another hour or two. When she got back, yeah, sure, this giant pile of mail underneath our phone table was the DMV notice, but it wasn't one I could mail in and pay. I actually needed to make a reservation or appointment to go down. They need a new photo and everything. I don't know why. It wasn't that long ago that I had my prior photo. Anyway, I guess that's why I put it off. I thought, I'll schedule it. It never happened. The bill got put away. And, a couple months goes, I forget. I move on to other problems, and it bit me in the ass. Anyway. Did I make some VD style pic at the DMV? Yeah, when they took my photo yesterday, I had to take my glasses off, and I went, and that'll be my new driver's license photo. Because I'm vegan, we are all deformed, because that's how vegans look, right? If you watch VD's content, I'm not going to mention her whole channel name, but that's what she does. She'll be sitting there, hey, it's Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan, it's a kind of freeze frame, and look at that's what the reason it looks like that, it's because he's vegan. Anyway, yeah, I did something like that, Travis, you got it. Hey, Jalen, thanks for the super chat tip there, Jalen. What's that? 36% of sea life killed fed to animals. Well, I haven't fact checked that, but I know it's a pretty significant percentage. So I'll take your word at it for right now. I know, yeah, it's not something to like just laugh at or it's a huge, just the what's happening with sea life from overfishing, from what's that called, trawling the ocean floor, all the bycatch. It's not like, when your grandparents or great grandparents, we were fishermen back in Norway back in the 1800s. It's not like that anymore. That's my horrible Norwegian accent, by the way. I don't even know what that was. Anyway, times have changed now with industrial fish farming. If you not even fish farming, but just industrial fishing methods. And fishing just seems like a wrong word. It's like harvesting anything and everything they can grab from the ocean floor, and no matter if it's a mammal or anything that they can eat, they just harvest everything and they deal with it later. Not a good approach. Was that a Norwegian accent, Sarah? I don't know what it was. That's just the first thing that came to my mind, huh? Let's see. Hey, Uncle, how is it going, Uncle? Yeah, don't worry, be happy. I did get a real ID, and I actually had a real ID for my prior driver's license. I'm not sure why they were so keen to update me and get a new photo and screw me up by making sure I had to make an appointment that I'd failed to get to. So what's that, Uncle? Jana, let's see. Raw vegan food chef has been eating only raw foods, died at the age of 30. Now, I heard about this. Yeah, a few people made videos about it this week, and yeah, I've had such a weird week. Like I tell you, just burning 3 hours at the DMV yesterday, unplanned, unscheduled, threw yesterday off big time. Other days before that, I've been dealing with other stupid, dumb problems too. If you want me to talk about them later, I will, but you haven't had a chance. But yeah, this is what I'm telling you guys. There is no reason to eat a raw vegan diet. There's every reason not to eat one. The number one reason is most raw foodists, not every last one, but most, over 50% of raw foodists I know are not raw foodists anymore. They're not even vegan anymore. A lot of them get ill, and in some cases extremely ill. There's just no reason to eat a raw vegan diet. Yeah, it works for some people long term. I totally get that, but they are in the minority. They are the exceptions. They are not the rule. But yeah, if people say a vegan diet killer, not just eating a raw food diet. What about being vegan says anything about, let's look at the definition of vegan here. What about being vegan says, let's look at it. A way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of cooked food in order to obtain this mythical optimal human health and eat like our ancient ape ancestors did. It didn't say anything like that. It's a stance against animal cruelty. So if you're truly against animal cruelty, where the hell did you get the idea that you also can never eat cooked food again? Again, if you want to do that and it's working for you and you're not getting ill, awesome. I'm not going to tell you to stop, but a lot of people think they have to do it for some weird reason, and there's no weird reason why you have to do that. So anyway, what did I miss there in my little rant there? Graven got a pug? Hey, Graven, what's up, Graven? You got a new pug puppy? Awesome. Oh my God, you are a pug person, right? His little name is Dexter. Dexter Little Man. Is it just Dexter, or is it full on Dexter Little Man? But congratulations on having a new addition to your family, a pug baby. Oh, you're lucky, Uncle. You get to put yours off for 3 years. Oh, I know your birthday now. Marco, you don't have to worry about Graven. She didn't get it from a breeder, Anyway, let's see. Produce not pills. You might be in Long Beach in the future. Recommended must-sees or do's. Well, Long Beach isn't really like a must-see place or anything like that. Like in the past, I would say, well, see the Queen Mary ship. It looks like the Titanic kind of. But I'm not even sure if it's how open it is. They've had lots of issues like repair work that need to be done. But if it's open, you might want to check out the Queen Mary. That's like our city's icon. But I don't think there's anything like essential in Long Beach. Our beaches are kind of gross. We're like behind this breakwater and the harbor and all the shipping port and all that stuff. It's not a beautiful beach. I mean, it's a decent beach, but it's not like a, you know what I'm saying, like a postcard beautiful kind of beach. But yeah, the aquarium, Graham, there's a good one. That's all down by the Queen Mary too. Yeah, check out the aquarium if you're into that kind of thing. They're really into like, you know, like ecology and all that. Let's see. I mean, I guess, you know, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if it's vegan to go to aquarium or not. You know, zoos are not like typically considered all that great. I'm not sure what the party line is on aquariums, probably for the same reasons. You know, the fish should be free and all, but anyway, that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, don't worry, be happy. Yeah, when we think of Dexter, a lot of us think of, you know, Dexter, you know, the guy who kills people on Showtime. Yeah, it was cool. I love that show. Especially the first few seasons. That was an amazing show. And by the way, a lot of the scenes from Dexter were filmed right here in Long Beach. Like the first few seasons, he was dating Rita. I know exactly where her house is. I used to it was on my route on my runs. I didn't plan it that way. It just happened to be that way. Yeah, we saw them filming around a few times. I actually saw him. I drove by. I saw him and that blonde girlfriend he had on the last season or two. Not Lumen, the other one. Anyway, the one with the kind of shorter platinum blonde hair. Anyway, yeah, Dexter. Long Beach kind of looks like Miami supposedly. So that's, I mean, they can make it look like Miami. All the Art Deco kind of buildings and the palm trees and the, you know, urban ocean environment. Hey, thank you, Heavy Metal Vegan, for the happy belated birthday. Thanks so much. Much appreciated. The Heavy Metal Vegan. Thank you so much. Right. Yeah, it's I feel like today's kind of the unofficial last day of my birthday celebration. So very appropriate. I tell you, Angie and I had that meal with my free birthday shake. So, you know, just a few hours ago. So I feel like, yeah, the last bit of my birthday here. Oh, Sarah, I forgot they did that reboot of Dexter like a year or two ago, right? The one where he had a son. That was pretty crazy, a pretty crazy season. And I wonder if they're gonna reboot it with his son living his legacy or something like that. But yeah, we're Dexter fans. When I first heard the description of the show, it's actually from an actress that I was really into. She said, yeah, it's a serial killer who kills other serial killers. I go, okay, that's kind of interesting. I've never heard that one before. You know, usually plots are reused forever and ever. Angie sent me a link to all the Dexter filming locations. So, Produce Not Pills, if you happen to be into the movie Dexter, I'll grab this link here and put it in the chat here. Dexter locations. And yeah, a lot of them are here in Long Beach. So if any Dexter fans coming to Long Beach, or it's all over the South Bay, like San Pedro, all over. They film Dexter all around here. Anyway, 6 Feet Under. Yeah, another Michael C. Hall show before Dexter. Yeah, after we discovered Dexter, we went back and saw that series, which is cool too. But yeah, there's nothing quite like Dexter. Okay, Fu Man. Wow, I didn't know how serious it was. So you went to the ER and that's how you knew you had 2 cracked ribs. The ER confirmed or let you know that. Wow. I hope you have enough drugs to get you through there, Fu Man. And yeah, Florida, yeah, marijuana's illegal. Cannabis is illegal, right? So you just can't go to a dispensary and, you know, just load up on some like, you know, hard or high THC or high CBD content. Yeah, so I guess that's DeSantis' fault too there, huh? Wow, Johnny, you're okay, at least you're not heading overseas anytime soon, right, Johnny? You said you should be finding out where you're heading to overseas sometime in 2024. Wow, how long will you be gone when you go overseas? Well, that's cool. You're going to be here for at least till then. That's a solid 5-6 months or so, at least until 2024. Drew, cannabis makes pain worse for you. You got to try CBD, high CBD content cannabis. Yeah, most weed is bred to optimize THC production, which is understandable. That's what gets you high and stuff. And CBD is the cannabinoid, if I'm pronouncing that right, that is more associated with not getting high and instead with pain relief. So yeah, you gotta, now you can usually find those pretty easily. It's a thing, and often at the dispensaries here in California, you can see a breakdown of the CBD percentage. And if you're looking for pain, you could tell the bud tenders that's what you're looking for, and they'll hook you up with the high CBD content. So maybe check that out next time. But typically, there won't be much CBD in weed unless it's intentionally bred that way. Yeah, and Sarah, even if there's no CBD or tiny CBD, Sarah, cannabis just makes you not give an F. Yeah, exactly. Some drugs or medications or whatever or medicines are like that. Some work on the pain, not directly, but indirectly like that. Oh, it didn't work for you, Uncle? Huh. I don't know. I just smoke more. I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize 6 Feet Under had a vegan character in it as well. Who was that? Was that his younger sister, maybe? I don't recall. Oh, see, Allison, I should work as a bud tender, huh? This looks kind of like a fun job, actually. The occasions when I enter into a cannabis dispensary, it's pleasant in there. People have good vibes. It smells nice. Something to think about. Okay, the vegan cult member tea. I told you guys our Streamlabs chatbot would display the link to merch.happyhealthyvegan.org if you want to get one of these shirts. Again, they come in several colors as well. If this ain't your color, so check it out. Vegan cult member tea down there. See our Streamlabs chatbot. That is the place to go to get your own vegan cult member tea. And it generates interesting looks too. I usually just wear them for like YouTube videos, but sometimes I'll wear them out into public and I get some interesting stares. So if you want to have that happen to you, go for it. Let's see. Okay, on 6 Feet Under, the vegan character was his older brother's girlfriend. They got pregnant and married. Gosh, it was a long time ago I saw that show, man. Oh boy. A long time ago, before we started our channel, I would say. So I don't remember the older brother's girlfriend off the top of my head. Maybe I'll check it out again sometime. Okay, Ace, why are we starting politics now? And you're making a statement like you know exactly who I want to win the election. What does this have to do with Ask a Vegan anything? Yeah, I see Sarah telling you to shut it. If he is your hero, if Trump is your hero and you think everything he's done is fine, that, taking classified documents home with you is totally cool. And then when asked about them through say the FBI and subpoenaed for them and still refusing to hand them over and then attempting to move them around when you shouldn't be, you think that's totally cool. He's your guy. If that's your kind of guy there, go for it. That's not my kind of bro. And yeah, if you believe the election was stolen, Hugo Chavez's voting machines that are manipulated by China and all these crazy conspiracies, if you really think that, and it's strange how it only changed the votes for Trump, it didn't change the vote for Republicans running for Senate and House, just the presidential candidate got changed. I don't know why they would do that. Anyway, yeah, he's your guy. Him and Mike Pillow, those are your guys there. But I tend to not vote for people who have 73 indictments on them. Even if there's 1 or 2 indictments that a candidate might have, that would be some red flags for me. But once it gets into the multiple dozens of indictments, That's just pretty much a no-brainer. No. And plus, all the racist rhetoric during his 4 years of presidency and the lead up to that as well is another reason why. I mean, during his 4 years as president, I saw more of a rise in Chinese hate crime, attacks on Chinese people than I have in those 4 years in my entire 50 odd years before that. So no, I don't really want to make America like that again, Ace, if you're trying to stir things up. So anyway, let's move on. But VLAM, you're absolutely right. We deserve more than two stinking political parties. Yeah, just because I'm not a fan of Trump doesn't mean I think Biden's like the bee's knees or anything like that, you know? I mean, a lot of people voted for him because the alternative was one they couldn't handle or swallow or deal with or want or desire. So it was like the choice between which one do you like the least or hate the least, or which one, you know, as I'm saying, it wasn't, for most people I know, it wasn't a choice of someone they didn't really vote for someone they really wanted, just the one that was like the least bad of the two. We need more than two parties, you know? I mean, Andrew Yang's got it right. He was one of the guys that I was very interested in when he first broke onto the scene with his universal basic income. Seemed like a crazy idea at the time. And now it's starting to make a lot more sense, especially with the proliferation of artificial intelligence, how it's going to displace people's jobs. The concept of UBI isn't just a weird fantasy now. It's looking like a reality in maybe 5-10 years. Yeah, Ali Brand. Which one will not be a grave disaster? Which one will not destroy our country or whatever? You know, it's kind of like that, you know? And Johnny, that's probably a good attitude. You know, I've kind of given up too. I wish I could move to another country and not worry about it. But my plan, as I tell you, just move as far away as I can almost in the United States, Hawaii, you know. And what I understand from people out there that I've communicated with is that politics in Hawaii are not like they are here on the mainland. People aren't as divided by there. In fact, politics is more of like, they're more concerned about local politics because Hawaii is so far away from Washington, D.C. It gets forgotten. So Hawaiians are more into Hawaiian issues that affect them, but don't buy into this whole stupid cultural warfare crap, anti-woke and anti-LGBTQ, all this nonsense that's the political parties, certain ones are trying to use to divide us. Anyway, yep, don't worry, be happy. PACs, dark money, yep, you got it. That's what makes our political machinery go around. That's what polishes it. Yeah, and I thought about that too, Don, if that happens, you know, or at least accelerate moving to Hawaii. But I don't think I'll be ready by 2024/25. Probably not. Anyway, yeah, Uncle, yeah, it hits a inner, like a genetic core of people, this us against them thing, because that's what we had in ancient times. You have your tribe of people, and if someone's coming, they are a potential or an actual threat. Yeah, it's us versus them. So it plays on these like primal fear instincts or something like that. It works, unfortunately. Oh, Sarah, yeah, we saw that Jeffrey Epstein doc on, what's it, like Netflix or something like that? I think we saw it last year or earlier this year. Yeah, complete freak, huh? Hey, Bob, Bill, we're not heavy into politics. Someone just brought up a question. They assumed I hated Trump or something like that, and I just kind of clarified my thoughts and opinions. If yours are different, totally cool. You know, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I think. Yeah, us and them, Fu Manpu. Yeah, Pink Floyd nailed it on Dark Side. Redox, any plans for in real life activism? Well, it depends what constitutes real life activism, but you know, I don't see myself going to any protests or marches or anything like that anytime soon. I mean, I don't even see myself going to any like real vegan events, like festivals in the near future. So, you know, but this is my form of vegan activism. This is where I feel most comfortable. I love being here and having all my information at my disposal. So when I hear some idiot make some stupid, nonsensical misinformation claim about veganism or vegan diets, I'm quick to respond and back up what I say with evidence and logic. So that's my form, my preferred form of vegan activism. Why? Because I was trained in philosophy. That's my wheelhouse, you know? That's why I feel like I'm most doing my thing. But if you're thinking something different, and it should be, most of you guys probably didn't study philosophy or anything like that, your kind of activism probably is going to be a heck of a lot different than what my preferred kind is. That's why I welcome that kind of diversity of vegan activists, as opposed to, say, certain unnamed vegan YouTubers who I have banned from my channel, who believe that we should be this homogenous group and have just like one kind of thought, one kind of speech, and if you deviate from that, you're a bad vegan and should be made fun of. I'm not one of those fascist types. I'm not a fascist vegan. Graham, we haven't been to Las Vegas in a long time, but yeah, remember last few times we went there? Yeah, we were really loving the vegan foods in Las Vegas. Yeah, it went from a horrible place to be vegan or vegetarian to a really wonderful city. So anyway, what have I not seen here? Yeah, I made a video about that a long time ago, Uncle. This tick that makes people allergic to meat. It's like, okay, I guess if they have to go vegan, it's not like a death sentence. They just have to live a life a little bit more like mine. Mine is totally awesome. So yeah, it's not that horrible of a fate if you have to like not eat meat anymore. At least they could be vegetarian, I guess. They could sell their dairy and stuff. But they have to be a life more like ours. But it would be unintentional, so they wouldn't really be vegan. Because I said, you can't have a vegan like hunter or something like that. It just would go against the whole concept of veganism. Wow, Sarah, I didn't know Bend was so cool. I got to check out Bend sometime. I've just kind of passed through that part of Oregon, just driving to like Portland or something like that. Bob, I don't know the specifics of that tick disease. I don't remember. Do you remember anyone here, or Uncle? Do you remember? Wow, you saw Robert Plant at that outdoor amphitheater in Bend, Graham? Wow. I've only seen Robert Plant. I've seen him twice. Once in the 80s when he went on tour for his second solo album. And there's just a couple years ago in Pasadena with his band that he's had for a while. And both times, amazing. He's a legendary musician for a reason. How would you know that, Bob? Do you know that firsthand? I wonder, or is this something you've heard? Because we've all heard that, but I'm never going to make that claim because I couldn't verify it, because there's no way in hell I'm going to try to verify that claim. Just kind of curious, Bob, have you experienced human flesh? Rolex, thank you for your super chat there. I only saw like maybe 1.5 minutes of that debate between Tate and Joey, and the whole time I didn't even get to hear Joey respond. Just that guy was sitting there with a cigar talking about, yeah, meat, it's part of this thing where we can go to the store and buy it, blah, blah, blah. I've ever right. I never got to hear Joey's response because I didn't even know that debate was happening right then. I had something else I had to attend to, so I just saw 1.5 minutes of it. So what's your thoughts about it? Any plans to make a response video? I know a lot of vegans criticized for Joey for not really pushing Tate because he was worried he would push away Tate's audience. Well, screw Tate's audience, I mean, what's the point of doing a debate with someone like Andrew Tate? Is it to clearly and strongly articulate the main tenets of veganism and consequences be damned? I mean, you can't go there for personal gain. I'm not saying that's what Joey did, but I didn't see it, so I can't criticize it. But if that's the criticism, I'm just going, I mean, the purpose of the debate is to, as far as a vegan going on a debate and do like that, is to articulate the points of veganism and point out how anything that Tate says is going to be completely nonsense and isn't describing what veganism is. So anyway, it's a tough job, you know. It is doing a debate with a bigger public figure like that. So I'm sure it was tough for Joe, and I didn't see it, so I can't say if these criticisms are warranted. But that's a big deal, you know. There's a lot of pressure. It's not as easy as the critics make it sound like. Hey, Peter, yeah, we talked about that. I've been too busy to respond to another raw vegan who ultimately, this time, failed the most ultimate way. Again, more reasons not to be on a raw vegan diet. You know, just so many people have trouble with it. Again, not all of them do, but more than you see just people like like how we do have trouble. Yeah, Maria, the little bit I could see, Maria, is what I saw. He said Tate was so arrogant. He's just sitting there puffing a cigar like he's some important person and could care less about animals. Exactly. That's what I heard too. He just didn't seem to give a crap. So how can you have a discussion about animal cruelty and ethics, animal rights, with someone who doesn't believe animals have rights and there's no way to be cruel to a pig or cow or chicken or what have you? He just kept changing the subject right before Joey could respond. So that's the kind of thing where you would maybe, if you had a debate like that, have some kind of moderator. So it'd be kind of like a presidential debate where like you're asked a question by a third party, you have a time to respond, and the other guy can respond to that. But if it's just going to be two guys unmoderated who can shadow over each other as much as they want, I mean, that's not really a good forum for rational dialectic. It's not going to happen, especially with a blowhard like Tate. Well, Bob, the little part I saw, Joey wasn't able to respond because Tristan wouldn't shut up, and he just kept going off on these kind of non sequitur stories that had nothing to do with what veganism is. He's just talking about like going to the store and buying meat and stuff like that. Like, what is, you know, so I don't know if I'd have to see more of it, but it didn't seem like it was any kind of the little bit I saw, it didn't seem to be just a productive discussion of any kind. Oh, thanks, Peter. Thanks for suggesting us for that. That's awesome of you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't care is not an answer, but it is. If you don't care, what can you say? What kind of vegan activists say? Like, to someone who says, I don't care. It's like, okay, you don't care about animal cruelty. I do. What else is there to talk about? It can't debate the, is it right or wrong to not care or something like that. If someone doesn't care, that's it. That's the end of the discussion. Oh no, he did name that trait. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Maybe it works for some people, but yeah, I don't think vegan activists need to employ that line of reasoning or argument. Well, I'm not sure which it is exactly. I have never had to use it, and I've been a vegan activist for over a decade. Not to say it's useless or anything, but it's not. You don't need to pull that out, especially if that's not your thing. Your wheelhouse. Now, again, I'm not dissing it. In case any Ask Yourself fans are watching, I'm not dissing it, but yeah, it's not a necessary thing. It's kind of, I thought if Joey did pull that, it seemed out of character, because I've seen many Joey Carb Strong videos, and I have a hard time recalling any time where he actually pulled that one out. So it just seems kind of a left field. That's why I seem a little puzzled on that strategy for him as a unique vegan activist. What's up, Peter? That is why we cannot fix animal agriculture by simply your license plate, having a debate, and convincing people one at a time to go vegan. What's that, Uncle? If a bear poops in the woods and no one is around to smell it, does it still stink? That's an interesting question. Well, smell is a sensation created in brains of mammals. So if no mammal comes across it, there's the molecules that are emanating off the poop, but until those molecules interact with the sensory apparatus and ultimately the brain of a mammal, maybe you can go a little lower than mammal. I'm not sure. I'm not a neurologist or anything, but a brain of some kind to translate those signals into smell. Yeah, technically there's no such thing as smell in itself, just like there's no such thing as color in and of itself. It's something that exists in brains, the way the brains interpret sensory data. Anyway, that's enough of that. Triple A. I mean, that's a whole nother issue. Let's look what veganism is. Why did I go vegan? It's because I saw, I realized from an early age, relatively, that why are we killing animals for? I mean, I don't like animals being killed or harmed or exploited. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. I didn't go vegan because there's too many people in the world or something like that. I'm not denying that's an issue, a serious issue. But I went vegan because because animal cruelty and exploitation. So it's kind of not reasonable to expect vegans to not only believe that animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong, but to believe a different philosophy. Because veganism is a philosophy about animal cruelty and exploitation and what we can do as far as possible and practicable. For me, it was very easy to not have children because me and Angie weren't really into the idea. I love kids, but I'm not really into supporting them with my limited financial resources or anything like that, and all the enormous responsibilities. So it was easy for me to make that decision, but for others, it's not. And to tell people, hey, if you go vegan, it means you could never have a kid for the rest of your life. I mean, people flip you the eagle and walk away and say, I'm not having any part of that. You guys are nuts. So I think it's unreasonable to try to attach that philosophy into veganism. They're connected as far as like what can happen as far as like reducing the impacts that we have on the environment. But to connect those ideas to become one, I think those concepts don't need and should not be conjoined together. Coconuts. I said, I know zoos, vegans typically don't go to, but the aquarium is a landmark. If she wants to go see that, she can. I'm not going to stop her. All right, so if you want to make a video debunking me, I mean, I've been to the aquarium before. I can't say that I've gone since I've been vegan, but I've been there before, and I've known vegans to take their families there before too. So I'm just saying, you make the call on that. I'm not going to pass any judgment on you if you go visit an aquarium, okay? I personally am not going. I have no plans to go, but if someone really wants to go and it's going to make their day, I'm not going to go stand between them and the aquarium and say, do not pass. That's not my thing. Yeah, coconuts, bonnet, I understand exactly what you're saying there. I'm just saying, I am not, I'm not patronizing. I'm not supporting them financially or anything like that. But if they want to go, feel free to go. It exists here, It's the choice that he or she will have to make individually. But that's it, Produce Not Pills. I told you, I didn't have any vegan must-sees or do's for Long Beach. Let's see, any vegan ones. Yeah, there's no like hardcore restaurant here that you have to see or anything like that. If you want to see the novelty of a vegan drive-through fast food place, yeah, visit Plant Powered Fast Food. I told you, I just went there today to get my free birthday shake. So that's something you might want to check out if you're into that kind of novelty. Everything's vegan there. Yeah, I don't have like a hardcore vegan favorite place that I like to go to all the time. Let's see. Okay, here's a good one. Angie just texted me, the Long Beach Museum of Art. Oh, I gotta text my friend back. He's gonna have an exhibit there. I've totally ignored him. But yeah, the Long Beach Museum of Art. There's a fine little museum in this beautiful old craftsman building. All right, what should we do with coconuts, bene rays? Let's look at our rules here, and let's see what happens here. Rule number 1, be civil no personal attacks, harassment, racism, sexism, and ageism. In fact, I just want people, if they want to come here and they don't like me or whatever, let's have an honest, open, civil discussion. But if all I'm seeing here is miserable, narcissistic, non-vegan, is more of, okay, I'll let you on. How am I, before I ban you coconuts, please tell me how I'm narcissistic, or no, I want to see how I'm miserable. Please tell me very clearly. And if you don't follow my directions here, you're blocked. So please tell me. I would love to hear. Explain to me how I'm a miserable person. Please, I enlighten me. Maybe you know something. You have some deep insight into my life and psychology. And once explained to me, you're gonna like make my life infinitely better. And I'm gonna break out of my miserable mindset and be enlightened and free and joyful. So please explain to me. I'm all ears. So tell me very clearly how I'm miserable. I'm waiting. I'm going to hold up the whole live stream for you, coconuts. Please tell me how I'm a miserable person. I would love to know. Be very clear. Just don't throw out some more bullshit. I'll just ban you instantly. So let's just wait to see how. I want to hear how I'm miserable. Maybe this person is like a PhD in psychology and knows stuff just from watching me and can like just blaze some truth bombs out on me and show me how I am miserable. But if you don't come back quickly with that, I'm going to personally ban your ass for violating rule number 1 in a most serious and egregious manner. Yeah, projection, Angie, huh? Usually when people say crap like that, they're describing themselves. Like, where did these ideas come from? You know, it's how they feel about themselves. They're narcissistic, they're miserable, and they're probably not vegan either. PhD in coconut studies. So where are you, coconut? You talk a big talk here. Narcissistic, miserable, non-vegan, whatever. So please back it up. Tell me how I'm a miserable person. You can't do it, right? Because you're full of crap. Really, right? I'm asking you, please give me clear, real examples that support your radical, extreme claim here. Just give me some support. You can't. You just can throw poop on the wall, but you can't defend anything because you are a lying piece of crap, narcissist, miserable person yourself. Hey, AAA, I said, you are trying to make vegans also add to the definition of veganism here, and we're against animal cruelty and exploitation, and a little asterisk. And by the way, you can never have children or reproduce children forever. No, that's not what veganism. You're speaking of your anti-natalism philosophy, and that's fine. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying that's not veganism. Veganism is about the animals, not consuming animals, not wearing animal products, not eating animal products. That's what it's about. It's not humans reproducing. It's about animals. Anyway, it's funny. Coco just comes and talks a big talk and can't, when confronted on their nonsense, can't back it up. So I will look for Coco. Did you ban them already, Uncle? I don't see them anymore. Let me know if Uncle or Peter banned them already, because I am looking for them. Let me look one more time. I guess someone else banned Coco. Maybe that's why Coco... Oh, there it is. There is it. There is the person. I can't ban him on this browser, can I? Crap. Hang on 1 second. 1 second. There they are. All right, I will ban them. Are you watching, Coco? Poop. You've been pooped away. You are gone. I take delight in people that come here and just completely violate our rules and are completely uncivil and throw nothing but personal attacks out and think that, that's totally fine and acceptable behavior. In any context, not just my live stream, but anywhere, like going to school or work or hanging out with people. It's not those. If you can't even follow rule number 1, people are going to beat your ass up because you're going to piss off the wrong people. Yeah, Crazy for Bananas, thank you. Been watching this since 2016, and we have one of the most positive channels. I'm glad that hasn't changed, huh? Redlocks wants to know, when people get banned on chat, they can't add to chat anymore. I mean, they can't comment on any of our videos or live streams. They still can watch our channel. YouTube doesn't block them as far as that goes, but as far as participating in the social aspect of Happy Healthy Vegan, no more. They're banned forever. Once banned, it's pretty hard to get unbanned. Oh, Sarah, I just banned someone who said I was an unhappy, narcissistic non-vegan. So I asked him to explain it and defend it. Firstly, they violated rule number 1, like hardcore, as egregious as anyone could. And then they didn't come back to defend. I said, okay, explain to me how I'm miserable. And they couldn't. They didn't. So anyway, the gummy is kicking in. Wait, what'd you have today, Sarah? Why, AAA, by not procreating, people are eliminating potential exploiters of animals. Well, you're also eliminating potential vegans as well. So I'm saying, yeah, have your antinatalist beliefs, totally fine. I'm not going to stop you or make a video about you being silly or anything like that. But please don't try to put them into the concept of veganism. Those are two. They need to be distinct. They are not one. Philosophy is often known as the art of making distinctions, or like when you have a concept that's muddled like that, there are two concepts, making them distinct concepts. They do not need to be put together. Veganism, again, is very clear. It's not about human breeding. It's about animals. It's about taking a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. You're taking it to a whole new level, saying, hey, just don't put any more humans on the planet. Yeah, and it's kind of a slippery slope to a death cult, Angie points out, because we know veganism should not be a death cult. So it's kind of it's on the path to that. It just has, a vibe to it that just seems to set off some red flags for me. Yeah, give Dexter your full attention, Graven. If Dexter's listening, hey, Dexter, woohoo, little pooch. Oh, Bob's here. What's Bob saying people are imposing? Who's imposing what on whom, Bob? I'm curious what your point is there. How, oh, there. We shouldn't impose anti-natalism on veganism or anyone. Yeah, I agree with Bob in this situation. Yeah, veganism is a concept. Anti-natalism is another concept. They should not be joined. Vegans should not have to sign up to the belief system, or not only against animal cruelty and exploitation, you have to also never have a kid ever. Again, people will laugh at us. No one's going to want to join. You want to see veganism's numbers implode rapidly before your eyes? Just tell them, hey, if you're vegan, it means you could never have children. People will leave. People will never join. It would be a death blow to veganism, I believe. Yeah, Veggie Jim, I really don't I can't say I've really engaged anti-natalists all that much or done much follow-up reading about anti-natalist beliefs or dogma or anything like that. So, that sounds like it could be what's going on there, huh? Sarah, so we're talking about some kind of cannabis gummies, I assume? As opposed to like some ketamine gummies or something like that, MDMA gummies, or what's that? SGS. Okay, let's put you up on the wall here. Let's see what SGS is saying here. All right. Let's hang on one second. Here are the rules, SGS. If you want to engage with me, just be civil and we'll just discuss this one claim. Don't put up more other unrelated claims. We'll discuss this claim to its fullest, okay? So if you can abide by that.
Cruelty-free.
Oops, wrong one.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
So veganism is simply not enough? Is that a question or a statement? Veganism does not concern itself with being moral then? Well, let's look at the definition of veganism. Veganism is a philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. It's a belief you have that animals shouldn't be used as objects, as things to exploit ultimately for human benefit as far as making money and to consume the products, the bodies and excretions of these animals who are exploited to create these products. So you can argue this is a moral belief, and one could argue you don't even have to understand morality to believe it's wrong to harm another sentient being. So I don't know where you want to go with this line of reasoning. Ooh, where'd the poop ball go here? But veganism does not concern itself with being moral. Well, you tell me, SGS, is having a stance against animal cruelty in your mind considered a moral belief? Just like I'm against killing humans, right? I'm against raping humans. Is that a moral belief? I'm against killing and raping animals too. Is that a moral belief, or is that not a moral belief in the case? You tell me if you consider it a moral belief. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. I'm not sure how you want to split that hair in up there. Let's see if he followed up here. All right, so you followed up on one thing. I'm not sure if this adds to your point or not, but I'll put it up on the wall so we can follow the line of reasoning, assuming we have one here. So let's add it here. Or is this an unrelated, like a poop comment? So let's check it out really quick here. We add this once more. Vegans base their actions on abstinence of animal use. I'm going to stop right there. No, I don't base my actions. My actions is I don't want to participate in animal cruelty and exploitation. So I eat plants. I don't consider myself abstaining as to rather what? Why would I abstain? Means you want to do something. Like I'm abstaining from alcohol this month because I drank too much last month. Not true. I'm just saying you're abstaining from sex or whatever. It's like something you want to do, but you're abstaining for whatever reasons. Maybe you're a fighter. You got to fight and train, whatever. Abstaining implies the want is there, the desire is there, but you use your sheer willpower to refrain from doing that. I don't want to eat animals. I have no desire. It's like, oh man, I really want to eat that beef hamburger or something like that. Those ribs. No, those are gross. That's disgusting. So I disagree with that first half of your second statement here, but not exploiting animals may not be the best moral thing to do. What do you mean? So you're saying not exploiting animals is not the best moral? I'm curious. What is better morally than not exploiting animals? Just kind of curious. Just let me know what you're talking. What do you consider? We're not trying to be the best moral people. I'm just kind of curious. What do you consider better than not exploiting and harming animals? Just curious. I'm not say this is gonna slam dunk your argument. I'm just trying to understand where you're coming from. Okay, sorry, English is not your native language. Totally fine. I'm not picking on you. So you're saying vegans base their actions on the not participating in animal use. Well, I don't know if I base my action. I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. So why would I want to participate in that? Just like I'm against humans being raped. I'm not abstaining myself from raping other people. I don't base my actions on not raping other people. What I'm saying, I just don't rape people because I find it wrong. I don't murder my fellow humans and shoot my neighbors up because I find it wrong. Most of you guys should too. Same things, no difference. I don't kill animals or pay someone to kill animals because I find it wrong. Am I basing my actions in that? No, just like I'm not really basing my actions in not raping people or not murdering people. But anyway, let's see where you're getting at here. But but not exploiting animals may not be the best moral thing to do. I'm just kind of curious. In your mind, if we want to rank things from like morally best down, this is morally little worse, and this one's not quite as morally good. I'm just kind of curious, what kinds of things do you consider better than not exploiting animals in a moral sense? Just kind of curious. Again, I don't know where you're coming from. Okay, so we're talking about vegans boycotting palm oil because it harms orangutans. Okay. But replacing palm oil with other oils, who says if you give up palm oil, you just maybe don't eat foods that have more oils that kill animals? Let's see, what's more harmful than palm oil, according to you? With other oils, actually entails greater use of resources, presumably more harm to wild animals. Well, again, veganism is not about perfection, ZGS. It's a stance against animal cruelty as far as possible and practicable. Again, it doesn't say that vegans are perfect. And if any harm is derived in the production of plants that vegans and non-vegans eat, it's not like just vegans eat oils or plants or whatever. If there's some harm that happens along the way, if the turnip truck delivering my turnips to the market runs over a gopher, for me, as a vegan and other non-vegans to purchase these turnips doesn't mean I'm not a vegan anymore or anything like that. But if you are a harm reductionist, it sounds like what you're getting at here, ZGF. You're trying to reduce harm as much as possible, right? If I understand you, because you said, okay, if vegans boycott palm oil because of the orangutans, they eat some other oils and there's some other harm, not orangutan harm, but maybe insect harm and rodent harm or something like that. If you're truly concerned about the harming the fewest amount of animals, and I assume that's your position here. Well, let's take a look at that. We can speculate all we want about like what kinds of food, what kinds of diets harm the most or least out of animals, or we could actually look at some mathematical models based upon like governmental data, such as the USDA and such, and see how many animals are actually harmed in the production of 8 food categories. Look at the top here, the red parts of the bar graph. Red blood. Those are animals that are killed in the slaughter of producing 1 million calories of food. And the gold part of the bar graph is the number of animals that are killed in the harvest and the production of the foods that are fed to the chickens and to make chicken and eggs, beef and pork. Look at the bottom of the graph here, the very bottom. Let's see if I can get my finger there. The very bottom of the graph are the plants, the grains, the fruits, the vegetables. There's no slaughter. There's no red part because there's no slaughter. And the gold parts are animals that are harmed incidentally in harvest. So it's the fewest amount of animals. So if you truly are an animal harm reduction person, would have no choice other than to eat a plant-based diet. Because as soon as you go up higher on this ladder, once you start getting to pork, beef, eggs, and chicken, more animals get killed in not only the harvest, but once you add slaughter on, there's no comparison. You can't even compare the two. So again, veganism is not it's not a, what the hell, where am I? It's not a perfectionist philosophy. It's about doing the best you can. And this shows vegan is the best you can. Yeah, Uncle, veganism is a good place to start if you're an animal harm reductionist person. I'm not sure what the name of that belief system is. What I'm trying to say is vegans are not, we should try to do better. Well, yeah, ZGS, vegans are doing better. Again, look at this here. If you're only eating grains, fruits, vegetables, you're doing the least amount of harm. As soon as you even go up to milk, you're doing way more harm. We're doing better. ZGS, vegans are doing better without even trying. We are trying, but we're doing better. What more can we do? How come all you non-vegans can have all these huge amounts of animals killed for your chicken, eggs, beef, and pork, but we're the ones that have to do better? No, you guys need to step up and get to at least where we are before you can even throw your first stone at us for not doing better. No, we're doing way better than meat eaters. I mean, that's ridiculous. What more can we do other than become perfect beings and all ascend to the heavens as we hit enlightenment or something like that? Vegan Han says, veganism, in the most simplistic terms, is living without exploiting animals. Yeah, very simple philosophy, very easy to understand there. Anti-animal exploitation, exactly. So anyway, I'm sure I missed a lot of stuff during all that ranting there, but so ZGS, what do you think? Tell me, how can vegans do better, ZGS? What can we be specific? If we're already doing way better than you guys, assuming you are not vegan, what more can we? And how come we have to do better since we already are doing better compared to people who eat beef, eggs, chicken? Why is it incumbent on it for us to even step it up even more? I'm just kind of curious. We're already kicking ass. Like, why do we need to even be better? Just curious. Hey, Muthalan, you don't know what causes more harm? Claiming ownership of sentient beings' lives and taking those lives. Doesn't make much sense, huh? Hey, is AJ here? Did someone say hi to AJ? If you popped on during this lively conversation, AJ, hello. And is Bob going off here? What is going off? Okay. I think we moved on. Yeah, vegan Han. Yeah, we are living already in a carnist world, right? I mean, how are vegans supposed to do better? We are doing infinitely better than non-vegans. Exactly. When we have a vegan world, animals have rights, then we could talk about even further improvements. Slam dunk. Yeah, got it. So what am I missing here? Is Bob fighting with people right now? Let me know, guys. What's going on with Bob Hill? Let me know, and if we need to direct the conversation and questions to me rather than fighting with others. So let me know what's up right now. And is anyone else getting out of control right now? That's all your own personal Jesus quote there. Now Fu Man Poo, reach out and touch faith. So anyway, and a Front 242 quote as well. Wow, we're getting some cool 90s references. All right, should we just ban this person or what? Let's see. We just have someone speaking complete nonsense. Okay, Uncle got him. Got it. I don't know if it's a dude or lady or anything like that. Bob Hill, have we really established that a vegan world is even possible? Bob, well, what do you mean a vegan world? Let's look at the definition of vegan, Bob. Veganism. You know what it is. Oops. You know that veganism is doing better than other ways of eating as far as killing animals goes. But here, veganism. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. It doesn't say that in order for veganism to be a valid, thriving philosophy and way of living that everyone in the world must be vegan. It just says you, me, individuals, if you find the concept of animal cruelty and exploitation wrong, there's something you can actually do about it rather than just say, hey, animal cruelty and exploitation are wrong and not change your life anyway. There's some simple, easy changes you can make to address that and live a life in accordance with that belief. Why do we have to talk? Is it possible for everyone in the world to be vegan? Sure, I'd love that. Is it possible? Maybe. It probably won't happen anytime soon. It's so far away as far as the numbers of humans, percent of humans, total humans goes. I couldn't tell you right now what that would look like. I'm not a futurist, and I don't think anyone here is like a professional futurist. I don't think they could project outward and describe what kind of transformations are coming anyway, regardless of veganism getting bigger or whatever. I don't know what that would look like, and I don't think anyone can honestly tell you what a vegan world would look like. We don't know. But the thing is, we don't have to know, and we don't have to wait for it. Why wait for the promised land, Jesus to ascend down and take us to heaven? Whatever I'm saying, why wait for something when we can do something right now? Meaning, stop eating animals. So easy. Just do that right now. You don't have to wait for a vegan world or anything religious to happen. You just do it right now. I wasn't like making fun of Jesus there. I'm just saying we don't have to wait for anything special to happen. It's something you can do right now on your own. I hope so, Vegan Haunt. I just couldn't tell you what it would look like and, or anything like that. But yeah, so we would like to see. Cosmic Skeptic tried it and failed. He did the best he could. I made a video describing or analyzing the exact words that came out of Cosmic Skeptic's mouth. And it didn't sound like he did the best he could. It sounds like he had a gut issue from childhood, if I remember right. This is many months ago, so forgive me if the details aren't as crisp as they were back when I made my response video. He had a gut issue since childhood. It made him have to poo explosively, randomly, or something like that. And he had trouble with all sorts of ways of eating throughout his life, and I guess veganism helped him at first with it, and it didn't, so he stopped being vegan or something like that. He didn't ever go to a doctor from what we heard. He didn't get checked out or anything like that. Just on his own, using his non-medical knowledge. He's not trained in biochemistry or medicine or anything like that. He didn't speak with any specialist in the field, as you should do. Why try to have a philosopher figure out what's wrong with yourself medically? It's ridiculous. So no, he didn't do everything he could. He didn't even do jack crap. He thought he was smart enough to self-diagnose himself and say, I'm not going to be vegan anymore. So I don't know, Bob, if he did everything he could. He didn't do it right, in my opinion, in the sense that if you're going to not be vegan anymore, maybe you should go see some real doctors rather than just sitting in your armchair doing philosophy thinking, I'm going to self-diagnose myself with my non-medically trained non-training. Hey, thank you, Atomic Vegan. Thank you, AJ, for the Vegan College Weekly tuition. Yeah, Bob Hill, from what I understand, I'm not a fan of Skeptic or whatever his name is, but he chose to be vegan because he reasoned it was some kind of morally right choice. Sure, great. But then again, while he was vegan, he didn't make awesome choices, such as, like I said, when ill, he should have maybe visited a doctor rather than self-diagnosing like failures like Tim Sheaf and others have. Self-diagnosing doesn't lead to good decisions typically. Go see a specialist. Think about it. I've been a vegan since 2010. If somehow I thought, oh man, I have some weird condition, I don't think I should be vegan anymore, I'm going to go see a doctor. I'm going to learn. I'm not just going to sit there and I didn't go to medical school. I didn't read all the research and go through, training and residency. I don't know any of this stuff. I want to see a professional. In fact, I would see multiple professionals. If I was going to make such a profoundly radical shift in my life as to stop being vegan, I'm not just going to make the medical decision on my own because I'm an idiot, and so is Cosmic Skeptic. We are medical idiots. We are not trained in this stuff. So it's so obvious. Anyway, oh, I banned someone who was who didn't need to be banned. Oh man, I'm sorry. Do you know who that person was? I guess we could unban them. Do you guys know who that person was? Maybe we could write their name down and I'll go unban them after the live stream. Let's see if I can scroll up. I might be able to find them. I might be able to unban them here. Let's see if I can find that. This person was talking about butts and farts, so that's the person we banned most recently. So if someone else got banned before that, I've moved on. I don't remember that. Bob, I just think if your health failed, not from eating a vegan diet. He said he had his explosive diarrheas before he was vegan. He didn't say veganism failed him. He said he had explosive farts and diarrhea before vegan. He had it while vegan. You think if your health failed and you need to have some, how do you know he needed? Here's the thing, Bob. How do you know? Do you know what need means? Necessary, necessitates, requires. No one ever told him that he needed to eat animal products. Do you understand that, Bob? If he had a medical doctor check him out, run tests, and then that person said, yeah, you need to eat meat, maybe you have an argument there, Bob. You have a much stronger argument. But for a non-medically trained person to self-diagnose that they need to eat meat is preposterous. It's like me. I have no idea how cars work, all right? But it's like, hey, if your car's broken, I'm going to say, hey, it needs a new spark plug and carburetor. I don't know. It probably needs that. That's what I think. That's my opinion as a non-trained mechanic. If you change your spark plug and carburetor on my recommendation, you're a freaking fool. Because I have as much right to diagnose a car's malfunctions as much as Cosmic Skeptic does to make medical diagnoses. Yeah, you need to show where animal exploitation is necessary for one's survival. None of us buy this need thing. I want to hear a story, but I've never heard of anyone that needs to eat meat. I've just not, like, eating meat, like, decreased his explosive diarrhea. Is that it? There's nothing else that would do it? Because he was eating meat before he went vegan and had explosive diarrhea for the first few decades of his life. So I don't think eating meat was a solution to his explosive diarrhea. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Timothy, yeah, your stomach hurting does not mean eating animals is a necessary, and I'm adding that word, a necessary cure. Doesn't mean that. Your stomach hurt, oh, if you have a stomach ache, oh, the solution, yeah, eat a steak. I mean, where is that written down in any, like, medical diagnosis manual? Anyway, let's see. Let me just take a little sip of water here and chill out. So if we have any new questions we want to move on to, I want to say hi to everybody. I said hi to all our happy family, like Timothy, and annoying but morally consistent. And who else have I been neglecting? Hey, Diablosel, you just popped in from Norway. Awesome. Hello, VLAM. Yeah, it seemed like the chat was stuck there for a second, huh? Okay, it seems to be working again. So whatever was wrong there, we seem to be cool now. YouTube fixed it. Oh, we have 2 Norwegians out there at least watching the live stream. All right, we're good now. Chat is back. Chat is back. Awesome. All right, AAA Anarchist. I'm about to time you out, okay? So make sure you tell me exactly how is my diet deficient? Please be very clear why eating a plant-based diet. Where do you have this information? Can you cite me like a governmental study or United Nations publication or something like that, rather than like your opinion or the opinion of like a carnivore guy on Facebook? Okay, let me get you up on the poop wall here.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
Okay, so you made it on the poop wall. You're pretty happy. You made an accomplishment here too. So, stop imposing life on the people and then shaming to adopting a nutritionally deficient diet supplemented by pills. So let me see where. First of all, let's just get into this. There's so much here. There's so much here. If an animal's diet is unethical, then the animal's existence. I'm not even gonna get to that right now. I just want to hear how eating what I eat is deficient and supplemented by pills. So first of all, you have a huge claim here that a vegan diet is nutritionally deficient. So let's go look to see what is known about the deficiency of a vegan or plant-based diet here. Let's see what, say, the dietitians of Canada say, the British National Health Service, and so on. A well-planned vegan diet can meet all these nutritional needs. It's safe and healthy for pregnant and breastfeeding women, babies, children, teens, and seniors. Dietitians of Canada. This is a group of health professionals, not just some shirtless guy lifting weights on Instagram. British National Health Service says, with good planning and an understanding of what makes up a healthy, balanced vegan diet, you can get all the nutrients your body needs. So, it's apparently not nutritionally deficient. Let's see what the British Nutrition Foundation says. A well-planned, balanced vegan diet can be nutritionally adequate. All right, so what part did I miss that vegan diets are nutritionally not adequate? Just let me know where you're getting your information from. Show me the support, the evidence supporting your radical claim that you made here, that it's the nutritionally deficient diet supplemented by pills. So please show me the support for this claim here. Yeah, Sarah, 33 years, you should be dead. If you had been eating a truly deficient diet for 3+ decades, how are you even alive? I mean, I've been doing it now for almost 14 years. I should be dead, right? I mean, how long can we keep going missing all these nutrients that we need, right? Where is the evidence? Okay, here's the thing. You're making an extreme claim. Extreme claims demand some extreme evidence. So please show us your evidence. I've shown you some here. I'm sorry. So please refer to me to what you are talking about. And I know you can't share a link there with us, Mr. AAA. So if you have a study, you can just type or paste the title into the chat, and I'll Google it, and that should lead me to exactly what you're looking at. So that's one way we can share some information here. If you have some evidence supporting your extremely bold, wild claim there. So it's funny how this person talks a big talk, and when asked to present evidence, as we had earlier this evening, they run away. Like, again, all I want to know is show me what you're talking about. I want to see it. I want to check out with my own eyes, look at it, process with my own brain the evidence supporting your extreme claim that vegan diets are nutritionally deficient, when there's so many health organizations from around the world who have analyzed the relevant scientific research and have concluded that a well-planned, non-stupid, raw, just eating a balanced, sensible vegan diet is nutritionally adequate, and adequate nutritionally for people of all stages of life, from breastfeeding women, pregnant women, toddlers, babies, all the way to old folks like myself. Okay, Herkel, can you tell me exactly which of these, I'm just curious, do you know? Can you show me which of these are in the pockets of grain? And can we find that are you saying they receive money from grain industries? Or is it true that they may receive money from meat and dairy industries too? Are you saying they don't take meat and dairy industry funding, but they have grain funding? Just show me. If you could find me one of these health organizations that takes funding from a grain industry, but not from a meat and dairy industry, let me know. I'll do the research. We'll get back to you next week, and we'll see if you're speaking the truth or lying right now. AAA, you can't answer a question with a question. You're the one that said vegan diets are nutritionally inadequate. And I showed you no less than 5 or 6 health organizations here. I could show you more. I'm just getting started here. I could show you more. These health organizations that, after having reviewed the scientific research, which you probably haven't, because like myself, you don't have a PhD in biochemistry, you don't have a medical doctor's degree, you're not a dietitian or a nutritionist, you don't have the research background to understand the scientific literature. These organizations do have this kind of brain power. The people who are qualified to make these recommendations, these position statements for the organizations. So just don't say there's a guy on YouTube that takes a supplement. That doesn't disprove or debunk this mountain of information that I'm showing you over here. So please show me any health organization that says, you can't do it. I'm just curious. I mean, I know many meat eaters that take supplements, AAA. Do you understand that? Most people in my family, they're not vegan. They take a bunch of supplements. Joe Rogan takes way more supplements than I've ever taken. He takes a mountain of supplements. Yet he's the one that says vegan diets are nutritionally deficient, yet he takes a mountain of supplements. He gets B12 shots in his ass. He gets testosterone shots in his ass. I don't get any of those shots in my ass. I take a B12 supplement on occasion. In fact, I was vegan, Mr. AAA. Is that your name again, Mr. AAA? I was vegan for over 5 years, 5 or 6 years, getting my blood tested, and never took a B12 supplement once until 5 or 6 years. I started taking one just to be a good example for our large following back then. It was larger back when I started taking a B12 supplement. I wanted to set myself up to be a good example, but my B12 levels were strong. I could have gone many more years without ever having a B12 supplement. So much for your nutritionally deficient diet, because, oh, there's some YouTubers that take B12 supplements. Yeah, there's meat eating YouTubers that take B12 supplements. So what? Does that mean eating meat is nutritionally deficient because there's some meat eating YouTubers that take supplements? Your argument doesn't make much sense. Whatever you're going to say about the vegans, the meat eaters are doing it too. In fact, the vitamin and supplement industry wasn't created for nutritionally deficient vegans. It was created for you meat eating people who need more supplements and supplementation from, in addition to what they're eating. All right, find a source. Tell me what you're talking about. Tell me how a vegan diet is not adequate. And then you're going to have a problem, AAA. Say you find one source. I'll commend you if you can even find one. That would be quite an accomplishment. But to find a consensus like I have here, this is a huge consensus. You have medical organizations of medical professionals from around the world saying pretty much the same thing. Yeah, you can always find maybe one or two outliers here and there, but understanding that the consensus among health organizations is that a vegan diet is nutritionally adequate. But I'd be impressed if you could even find an outlier, but humor me if you could even find an outlier organization. Curious. I'm just curious. Say you do find one. How does that disprove what all these other organizations have been saying? But anyway, hey, DeVlam, your sleep-deprived brain is turning down most of the rants going on. That's probably a wise idea. Yeah, there's some more annoying people here tonight, Sarah, than normal, huh? I'm the most persistent vegan ever. But yeah, Carl raises a good point. B12 is good to take as insurance. That's what I'm doing. I wasn't deficient. It's insurance, because B12 deficiency can be nasty and lead to permanent problems. In fact, governmental organizations recommend that old farts like myself, people over the age of 55 and up, should take a B12 supplement. Didn't say vegans who are over 55. People, human beings at my age should be taking a B12 supplement. Why? Because we just should. Absorbing B12, apparently, I'm not a doctor or nutritionist, absorbing B12 somehow, for some reason, typically becomes more difficult as humans, not vegans, as humans age. Okay, AAA, I don't need a PhD to make decisions about my own health. Well, we're not talking about your health. You're the one that came to my live stream telling me that my diet is nutritionally deficient. We're not talking about yours. You're the one that came here. Don't play victim. You're the one that came to my live stream and told me that me and all the rest of us who are eating plants are, and let's look at your words here, your last line here, then shaming to adopt a nutritionally deficient diet supplemented by pills. So now you're making it about yourself. I know you don't need a PhD. I'm just telling you, please share with me the health organizations that are saying something that runs completely contrary to what I'm finding to be the scientific consensus across health organizations around the world. I don't care what vegans eat. Vegans are the ones telling me what to eat. I've never told you once in my life what to eat. AAA anti-natalists, anarchists, atheists. When you said vegans tell me what to eat, when have I ever told you what to eat? You're just playing victim now. This is completely. I'm not saying you're one, but it's a play out of a narcissist playbook. Is to when confronted with the with information that runs contrary to a narcissist. But I'm giving you a tip, some tips here I've learned about narcissists. When narcissists are confronted with the lies or misinformation that they've been spreading to their would-be victims, one reaction that's really common is instead of responding or rebutting that information in any meaningful way, is to play victim. I don't need a PhD. You don't need a PhD. I don't care what vegans eat. Then why are you here telling me that my diet is deficient when it's not? And vegans are the ones telling me, when have I ever told you? Please tell me, when have I ever told you what to eat? Just curious. Have I ever told you, here is what you have to eat, Mr. AAA, anti-natalist, anarchist, atheist? When has Ryan of Happy Healthy Vegan ever told you what you need to eat? Just kind of curious. Anyway. Okay, so you found an article, but I didn't ask you for an article. I asked you for a consensus. I asked you for an opinion of some kind of like either governmental agency, health organization, because you can find any article saying anything. The thing is having the proper training, the proper scientific and medical training. You know how to understand. I mean, this is PhD level evidence. When we're talking about articles, this is PhD and MD level evidence, way beyond what me and anarchists, anti-natalists, atheists can understand. We're not trained in these matters. So I'm saying that's why we look for positions of health organizations who have the knowledge, training, and experience to read through the scientific literature, understand which science is garbage, which is rigorous science, and gives them the ability to make claims about vegan diets, their nutritional adequacy, and not be on some kind of dubious footing when they make these position statements. If these statements were false, their reputations would be crap. Seriously, if people were dying left and right because of nutritionally inadequate vegan diets, these guys would lose all credibility. So yeah, one study, great. I'm glad you found some study with a promising title. But if that's the best you could show me is one study, do you know how many studies that these organizations reviewed in order to make their position statements? I'll show you. I could show you. Like say for the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics position statement on the nutritional adequacy of vegan and vegetarian diets. It's about 80, 90 studies, something like that. Not just one. You can't make a position statement based on one study. You need to find some kind of consensus. There was another article called 7 Nutrients. You can find anything. Anyone can write anything. Any like carnivore, paleo guy can write an article, get it up on Mind Body Green. I got an article up on Mind Body Green. I don't have a PhD or anything. It was about vegan diets and nutritional adequacy of them. They took my stupid paper. I'm just saying anyone could get an article anywhere. I could go to my website right now and make an article, and you could use that as a reference. But that's not considered rigorous science. We're actually talking about published peer-reviewed studies, and not just finding one to cherry pick to suit your needs. We're looking at a review of the current scientific literature and making a position statement such as one of these based upon them. So nice try. It just shows you how you don't understand how scientific position statements are arrived at. They just look at one study, not. Anyway, let's move on. So thanks for playing AAA. I'm going to put you in timeout because we've given you more than enough time. I'm not punishing you. I just think you've monopolized too much of my time, and you're welcome to come back next week, AAA. Okay? If you have something better to say. If you're just going to come here and just fling poop on the walls, no, you're not welcome back. But if you have some new evidence you want to present to me next week, Mr. AAA, I assume you're a Mr. Come back next week, but we are moving on from you tonight. All right. Yeah, I can say I live on Z-Box 7. You're absolutely right. Disprove me. Uncle, disingenuous people who only want to spread misinformation are trolls. That's pretty much a great definition, huh? Dictionary.com should pay you for that definition. So Bob's going on about eating animals again tonight. What have I missed in all that? Oh gosh. Anyway, so Bob's telling us how he must eat chicken or else he'd be dead or something. It's in his best interest. Wow, Bob, I'm missing out here. Please give us your best interest argument. Please tell us how it's in your best interest to kill animals. But how is that different? What do you mean by best interest? Like, I don't even know what that means. That's kind of a vague term. What do you mean best interest? Like, meaning what? Like, your best interest for what? Like, to live so you don't die, for pleasure? Like, what do you mean your best interest? I didn't see your statement, Bob. I'm just going by the response people have said to you. I don't understand. What do you mean by it's in your best interest to kill animals? I don't understand. What do you mean best interest? Please explain. Don't worry, be happy, says to Bob. You make it sound like it's very complicated to follow a nutritious vegan diet, and it's not. It really isn't. In fact, it can be much easier and even cheaper. I've known so many people say their grocery bills have gone down since going vegan and buying all this expensive vegan food. That vegan food costs so much money. Bob is being told by any annoying but morally consistent that he's an atheist. More annoying but morally consistent says, I'm an atheist. I don't need a book to tell me what's moral and what's not. Where in the Bible does it says anything about the morality of being vegan or being a carnivore or omnivore? I don't think that was really mentioned in there. What does that have to do with anything? Because I know we have Christian vegans on our live stream watching right now. So don't use the Bible as a justification for needing to have a steak for dinner. It's not in there. Yeah, the people that talk about hunting, Ali Brand brings up an excellent point. There just simply isn't enough wild animals on this earth for hunting. And say you live in an urban environment here, like the Los Angeles greater metropolitan area, which has, 30 million people. There's not like nature out here. That's what I complain about. That's why I want to move. It's so, you have to drive so freaking far to get out into some nature. And once you're out there, it's not like there's a bunch of moose or something like that, you know? There's like, how, if I live here in the city, how am I supposed to hunt for food? Not saying I want to, but let's just use this as a thought experiment. So we're gonna have all the millions of people out here going out in the streets shooting dogs and squirrels or something like that. That's absolutely absurd, this whole hunting thing. Maybe it works for some people, but it's not gonna work for a majority of humanity. Then we can talk about the ethical problems about that as well. I'm just talking about the practical problems, how absurd that notion is. Anyway, but it's that Sarah had a gym nana try to talk you up about religion. I always kind of find it funny when someone tries to come up to me, and I'm not making fun of anyone's religion or anything like that. Just so I'm an old guy. I'm 56 now. Have you ever heard the word of Jesus Christ? Like, yeah, of course. I was born in the United States. I'm 56. No, like, I know nothing what you talk of. Please inform my virgin brain of course. You know, it's just kind of weird when something like that happens. Like, who trained you to have that be your leading line? I mean, that's absurd. Like, who's not heard of, you know, the world's great religions? You know, that's ridiculous. Anyway, hey, Bob, I missed what you're talking about. Bob, did you tell me, yeah, annoying but morally consistent. Could you imagine if the billions in cities were all hunting? As I'm saying, where are the 30 million people in LA supposed to go hunting now? There's simply nowhere to hunt. Drive for like 5 hours or something like that, and we're all sitting there, 30 million of us in the same little tiny patch of forest shooting each other. It's just so absurd of an idea. I never found what Bob was saying, how it's in his best interest to kill animals. I didn't know what that meant. I thought you're using best interest as an intentionally ambiguous term to justify killing an animal. What do you mean, what does that even mean? Tell me how you're using best interest as your justification. on, Ryan. How can vegans talk about not wanting to discuss Christianity when they know everyone has heard of veganism? I mean, a lot of people have heard of veganism, Bob, but most people don't know what veganism is. My proof? Watch my mini response videos that I do on a weekly basis, or just watch my live streams. Most people don't know what veganism is. They have heard of it, but as far as what it is, they think it's like an ecological movement or some kind of Jainism thing. I saw you guys talking about that, like, zero harm, we're perfect beings, zero waste or something like that. No, it's a stance against or they think it's some kind of health movement or something like that. No, it's simply a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Oops, wrong button there. My bad. Bye-bye, AAA. No, I let you respond. I put you in timeout because do you understand what monopoly means? You have monopolized our time with your questions, which I think I was more than fair and more than generous in the amount of time I gave to answering your questions. But this live stream is not about you. I can't just have you monopolize the entire time. I have 80 odd people on right now. I think there's more earlier. It's not about you. Don't take it personally. Don't get butthurt just because I timed you out. I said I was polite. I said this is not to punish you. I said you can come back next week and raise a different question with us next week. But tonight, I've given you all the time that I can, and we simply need to move on. How come you're such a crybaby? You sound like a little third grader, just is totally losing his shit for being put in the naughty corner. Just deal with it. I was kind to you. And this is how you repay me? I'm going to roast you on my channel anyway for not letting me respond. No, I gave you more than enough time to respond. And all you came up with were some articles like, 7 reasons why you can't eat a vegan diet or something like that. I mean, that's not what I was asking for. I was asking you for opinions of like some health organizations, a governmental publication of something like that. And you're just giving me like blog posts. So I said, come back next week, take 7 days out of your life here and go look for some stuff and bring it to me. I'm being nice to you. And this is how you repay my kindness, by being a complete dick. I understand where you're coming from now. Yeah, temper tantrum. That's what it's called there, Veggie Jim. So anyway, So, Bob, you still haven't answered my question. I saw people saying how you're saying it was in your best interest to kill animals. Please tell me what you mean by that. I'm still really curious, Bob. Come back and tell me. What do you mean it's in your best interest to kill animals for you? I don't know what that means. So please educate this dumb little brain here. Tell me what you mean by it's in your best interest to kill animals, because I don't understand that. Vegan Han, I understand that there are other definitions of veganism. In fact, I really like the earliest definition that the Vegan Society has here, the doctrine that man, where it is right here. Okay, the principle of the emancipation of animals from exploitation by man. I think that's a wonderful definition. In fact, that concept is still contained in the modern definition. I'm not saying this is the perfect and only definition one can use, but it's an excellent definition given the context of my channel here, responding to people that have no idea what veganism is. They think it has something to do with being perfect, and if a rodent gets squashed, we're not vegan. No, it's as far as possible and practicable, and it explains that this is a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. They think it's a health movement or something like that. So yeah, for all its imperfections, this definition is an extremely powerful tool for the purposes of my responses to people here. The 50s definition it would take a lot more work for me to explain to them, well, it doesn't mean you have to be perfect. You know, I think that they realize that a lot of people think that vegans are perfect, and that's why they add it as far as possible and practicable. Like, yeah, we still, like, say there's some animal bit in a tire for a car. It doesn't mean you can never drive or ride a bus. I mean, you have to get to work, right? So that is in this definition here, this modern one. It shows that we're not perfect beings. We have to be able to get along in the world and do all the stuff that non-vegans do, as far as like have a job, have a family. It doesn't mean we can never have kids again or something like that. So for all its flaws, I think its benefits, for my purposes, outweigh its imperfections. I hope you can understand that. I'm not saying this is the only definition, but I think it's the best one for my job on YouTube. So anyway, so Bob, let's see if Bob ever answered my question. Bob, okay, let's get Bob up on the poop wall. I'm gonna make this really clear for you, Bob, okay? I'm gonna make this painfully clear. I'm gonna spoon feed it to you as if you were a child, okay? Not to say you are, but I'm gonna just make this painfully clear and easy to understand here. So let's get you up on the poop wall tonight, Bob.
For all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
I just don't understand where vegans get their morals from. Well, let me put it to you like this, Bob. I don't follow your religion, obviously. I'm Buddhist. I, as a human with, a sentient human with independent, rational faculties, I know it's wrong, like say to go next door and start raping people or murdering people, right? I know that. Just like I know it's wrong for me to go like slit the throat of a cow or goat or something like that for dinner. Concerned I can just go to the store and drive or walk to the store and get some beans and grains and greens. So where does morality, why do we have to have this heady, deep discussion of morality from? I know it's wrong to rape and murder people. I don't need a religion to ground that thought in because I don't share your religion. How is it I'm able to understand it's wrong to rape and murder people and not have the same religious beliefs that you have? So we don't need to have like religion, any religion, be it Judaism, Islam, anything, to be the foundation for us to behave in a proper way in this world. So you wonder where we get our morals from? Just where do I get the understanding that it's wrong to kill people? It's the same place I get the understanding that it's wrong to kill animals. It's no different. It's wrong to kill a guy next door to me. It's wrong to slit a cow's throat because I don't need to eat it. I can eat plants. So I don't know why we have to get some kind of deep. Again, I studied philosophy. I have a PhD dropout. We don't need to get into deep moral theory to understand it's wrong to slit a throat of a cow or a human. Why do we need to go down that road for? No, Christianity does not inform my beliefs, Bob. You could say Buddhism informed my beliefs. Who are you to tell me where I got my belief that it's wrong? You're saying if I didn't grow up in a Christian-centric world, and I didn't grow up in a Christian-centric world, you said I would not understand that it's wrong to kill a guy. I wouldn't understand it. If I saw like my friend go out and kill another guy, I wouldn't be fazed. I go, that's just kind of cool. That's normal. If I didn't have God or something like that, no, that's completely absurd. We don't need any religion to tell us it's wrong to go kill some innocent person. To say you need a religion to understand it's wrong to kill some guy just chilling on a couch, that's completely absurd. Awesome, Bob. Cool. So veganism debunked. There are societies that murdered and even ate other people. Yeah, there's always been a history in civilization of violence. One group attacking another group, small warfare, large warfare, what have you. But what does that have to do with anything that we're talking about right now? You're bringing up, but these vague ancestors killed each other. Therefore what? So if ancient ancestors killed other people, I have no justification to say, yeah, it's not wrong for me to go just kill my next door neighbor on the couch. Is that what you're saying? Is that the argument you're trying to make? I have no justification to believe it's wrong to slit my neighbor's throat because ancient ancestors had wars. Is that what you're saying? They had raids and rape and pillage and stuff like that. Ancient ancestors. Timothy, you can be any religion and be vegan. No religion says you must kill and eat animals. As far as I understand that too, Timothy, because I have met vegans of virtually every religion. Yeah, I'm aware of human sacrifice. Yeah, I've studied Aztec and Mayan ritual. Yeah, they sacrificed people. So what? Why does that have anything to do with me right now, not like 600 years ago in the Yucatan Peninsula in the Mayan civilization? What does that have to do with me right now in the United States to know that it's wrong for me to go next door and slit my neighbor's throat? How does what happened 600 years ago in Central America have anything to do with me right now? I'm just curious, Bob. Please explain, because I'm not seeing the connection there. Yeah, Apano, yeah, people had a sense of morality prior to any of the great religions of the world. Because saying it's wrong to kill is not common sense. So he's saying, wait, so he's trying to argue, it's okay. I didn't want to try to extrapolate where we're going from here. So he's saying because Mayans sacrificed people, typically people they captured in warfare. They ripped their hearts out on the top of the temple, let them bleed down. Because Mayans rip prisoners' hearts out. We can't say it's wrong to kill people? I'm not following. Please help me out here. I'm having a hard time understanding why you're bringing up like the Mayans for. Or you brought up human sacrifice, and I brought up a specific example. You brought up a vague general example, vague non-specific example. I brought up a specific example because I like specific examples because vague generalities suck. All right, so the Mayans ate people's hearts. Therefore, what's your conclusion, Bob? I'm missing it. It's not common sense to say killing people is wrong. Is that what you're saying? The stream is lively, huh, VLAM? Yeah, that's compared to the past few weeks, huh? If you got to get going, VLAM, I totally get it. I'm pretty chill too. Let's see. Bob saying no. I'm saying you need a moral foundation to know that. Bob, I don't share your Christian beliefs. I am not a Christian. But I know that going to shoot or rip out my neighbor's heart if I walked to my next door neighbor's house and ripped out their heart, I know that's wrong and gross, repulsive. I would never, ever do that. It's just not going to happen. No, and I don't need your religion to inform me of that. Just like I don't need another person's different religion to inform me. I'm not going to list every religion of the world. It would be pointless. I'm just saying I don't need any particular religion to tell me that it's wrong for me to go to my next door neighbor's house and rip their heart out and eat it. It's just absurd and crazy. So what does this have to do with the ancient Mayans, and how does this justify you eating animals? So you're saying you're trying to, let me get your argument together, Bob. You're saying because ancient Mayans killed people and ate their hearts, it's okay for you to eat animals? Is that what your argument is? I don't think it is, but that's what I'm kind of piecing together here. But the ancient Mayan heart eating, though, that's a new one. Oh, ZGS is back saying vegans aren't doing enough good. When I clearly showed ZGS that vegans are doing the most good. I showed ZGS this very graphic here of how many animals are killed to produce different foods. And if you want to do the best you can, which vegans are, we are doing the best. We're killing the fewest amount of animals. Yet ZGS says vegans need to do better. Like, better than what? We are doing the best. Vegans are the number one. How can we get better than that? You guys, you meat eaters, need to do better. How can we do better if we're already doing the best? Yeah, Dr. Bear, you walked into the ancient Mayans, ripped people's hearts out and ate them, though. That's the argument I think Bob is trying to use here. If we were separated from the Word of God, we would be eating the hearts like the Aztecs. Well, I hate to break it to you, God. No offense to any Christians out there. I am separated from the Word of God. I am not a Christian. I don't believe in the Christian beliefs and such. But I'm not ripping the hearts out of my neighbors or anything like that. I'm a pretty nice guy. People generally like me at the gym and stuff like that. I'm not getting in fights. In fact, I'm the guy who's usually trying to prevent fights and stuff like that. So your argument is your assumption, Bob, your presupposition that without God, we'd have no idea that it's wrong to rip out your neighbor's heart and eat it is completely absurd. Let's see. So anyway, Dr. Bear, oh no, Bob is the one presenting this argument, right? I'm glad you blocked him all. Yeah, Bob is the one presenting the argument, saying that without having your morality rooted in biblical Christianity, we'd all just be running amok, nuts, crazy, ripping each other's hearts out, raping everyone. It's only because of the Bible and his religion that we have a civilized life or something like that. That's kind of interesting because I don't follow your religion, yet I know it's wrong to rip my neighbor's heart out, and I know it's wrong to slit a cow's throat as well. No different in my point of view. Both are wrong. ZGS, what more can vegans do? You tell me. Hey, ZGS, why don't you tell me what more vegans can do? Since you seem to know so much, I'm asking you, ZGS. Let me put ZGS up on the poop wall. Because Bob's just floundering around as he often does here. But the ancient Mayans, though. Anyway, let me put ZGS up here for all to see.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
Okay, so ZGS at AJ. HHV just said, what more can vegans do? As if he thinks being vegan is enough. Well, just tell me. Instead of making fun of me for being stupid or something, tell me what you mean. What more can vegans do? Help me. Help me to become a better vegan. Help us all to become better vegans, ZGS, since you are so wise in the ways of veganism and doing more. So instead of being a dick about it, why don't you share your wisdom with us all? Please, I am listening to ZGS. I'm not even going to listen to Bob right now. So ZGS, please tell us all what more can we do as vegans? And given the fact I already showed you, oops, 1 second. I already showed you, ZGS, how vegans are doing a hell of a lot. We're killing way fewer animals just by the fact that we don't consume them. We're killing fewer animals because none are being slaughtered. That's the red part of the bar graphs. And the gold part are animals that are killed in harvest. Again, we're killing way few animals in harvest. So we are already doing more. So what more can we do? I want to do more. I want to be the most hardcore vegan possible. I'm not complacent with this. This is not enough for me. I want to do more. And ZGS, share. Why hide your wisdom from us and you just mock me? Instead of doing that, share. I demand you share what you know so I can be, and we all can be better vegans. All right. Okay, so here's what you want us to do here. All right, so I'm going to put that up on the wall. You finally shared with us.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
Be frugal. Oh, hang on one second. Something's wrong here. 1 second. Hang on one sec. Okay, so you're telling us to be frugal, stop flying, downsize, participate in political organizing. Well, I think most of those are commendable virtues. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree and say don't do these things. These things are wonderful. But if we're going to, first of all, just look at what veganism is, as it looks like you're talking about a lot of things here are ecological issues here. And veganism says nothing here about ecology or anything like that. It's a stance against animal cruelty. It just so happens that animal agriculture is responsible for more planetary problems such as greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, than plant agriculture is. So already veganism is a step in the right direction. But what do you want us to do again? Let me take a look. Be frugal. How do you know I'm not frugal? Stop flying. How do you know I don't fly? Downsize. How do you know I'm not trying to get rid of a lot of my worldly possessions? Participate in political organizing. Hey, I ran for city council, bro. So I'm already doing your thing. So I guess I can't really do much better. I don't know what more I could do. I guess I'm level 5,000 vegan, according to ZGS's list of things that vegans need to do, in addition to what the definition asks us and demands and requires us to do to be considered vegans. He has an extension to that list, which I disagree with. I don't think you have to do any of this stuff to be vegan, but I don't think these are bad things to achieve or try to achieve if you can. But if you gotta fly, you gotta fly. If you have family that you need to visit and driving's not really possible or practicable, say they live in Hawaii or across the ocean, yeah, you gotta fly. But all right, cool. ZGS, awesome. Yeah, annoying but morally consistent. I'm laughing. Yeah. Let me read your thing here. Law, the economy. Oops, the wrong thing. Law, the economy has dictating those things for me too. Absolutely. But that's not what veganism is. 100%. Yes, these are good things to do, or some things we don't have a choice. Some of us have no choice other than to be frugal and not fly and downsize. But that's not what veganism is. This is what veganism is. You believe animals have rights. You've taken a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. These other things, these are cool. I'm not going to diss them, but that's not what veganism is. Those are separate issues. My case in point, you can be someone who's frugal and you'd never fly and you totally downsize. Everything fits of your life in a suitcase and you politically organize, but you eat meat all the time. So this is not veganism. It's something else that's cool, but it's not veganism. AJ Venus says, I don't fly. I hardly ever fly. I think I've only flown twice in the past 5 years. I mean, round trip, 2 trips in the past 5 years. You live in a small house? Yeah, us too. Pretty small house for where we live at. I vote. Yeah, we vote, and I advocate for pro-animal rights. Yep, you did it too. You are a true vegan according to ZGS's extended definition of veganism. So AJ and me, I think, seem to pass. All right, so is the chat working right now, guys? Let me know that it's cool. All right, so I see it. Chat broken again. Corvid Moon is back. Okay, I don't know why the chat is weird tonight, guys. YouTube, maybe they're not working as hard as they need to be to keep their servers running. Let's see what says Corvid Moon. Making environmental claims whilst not doing anything about the claims you make and not doing the thing that mitigates negative environmental impacts the most, animal agriculture, veganism, is hypocrisy. I agree. When I meet environmentalists, they talk about all these things they're doing, zero impact and blah, 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 and they still eat meat. You do understand that eating meat is way more worse for the environment on many levels, greenhouse gas emissions, deforestation, habitat loss, than eating plants is. But, exactly, hypocrisy. CGS. Okay, you do not seek to redefine veganism. Awesome. Good to hear that. Do you agree that vegans who don't care about altruism or other Do I agree that vegans who don't care about altruism other than not exploiting animals immoral? Do I agree that vegans who aren't altruistic other than exploiting that they are immoral? I don't know. Like, can you give me an example? Like, can you give me a certain? Do you have a particular person in mind or something like that? Not sure. I mean, I don't know. Phrase it again. I'm a little confused on that. Yeah, Dr. Bear, huh? I'm amazed too how relatively affordable flying is, huh? Considering, like, how heavy airplanes are and all the fuel to fly them around and the staff and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a miracle that it is not as pricey. Yeah, exactly. Great point, Dr. Bear. The deeper question is, why is he concerned about me labeling some people as moral or immoral? Am I like God or the king? I proclaim he is immoral or something like that. I'm just not sure what the point is here. Not laughing at you. I'm just saying, what does it matter what I think about people? I'm here to promote veganism. I'm not here to promote perfect beings or anything like that. I'm not here to make everyone the most moral person they can be. That's not what our channel's all about. Be as moral as you can. With Ryan, learn morality, learn perfect morality with Ryan. Should I change my channel to that name? Learn awesome morality with Ryan. No, that's not what we're about here. I'm here to spread the word of veganism and combat misinformation about veganism. Bob Hill says, Gary Orowski is the type of vegan that scares you. I am a moderate, but I'm a moderate vegan? No, I'm just a regular vegan. Yeah, there's wackos of anything. Not to say Orowski is, but I know when you said there are others who scare you. Yeah, there's others that scare me too. I'm just a vegan. I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. I mean, that's what veganism is. You're against animal cruelty and exploitation. It doesn't say you have to be an asshole to all non-vegans. You have to doesn't say being vegan gives you the right to put yourself above everyone else and talk down on them and shame them and crap like that. No, it's your relationship to animals and how you eat. That's what veganism is. If anyone thinks that veganism gives them some kind of license to be an a-hole, they're seriously misinformed. No definition has that in there. None. So stop being an a-hole if you think that's what veganism gives you the license to be. Yeah, Uncle, do what you can, any of us can, to improve ourselves. Don't worry so much about what someone else does. Yeah, ZGS, don't worry about me and other vegans. Make yourself a better person. And I'm trying to make myself a better person. But I'm not here to make ZGS a better person or anything like that. No, we all only have power over ourselves. Oh, I forgot to hit the ding there. Let me do it again. I forgot to hit the ding. My bad. I'm vegan. I forget. I have vegan brain fog. Hutchie's just an a-hole regardless. Some people are just a-holes. They were a-holes before they went vegan. That has nothing to do with being vegan. Yeah, Dr. Bear. Yeah, why do we have to label people? We just want people to stop harming animals needlessly. That's all I really care about. So I guess to answer your question, ZGS, I really don't care if vegans aren't thinking about other altruistic actions other than animal exploitation and cruelty. If they think about animal cruelty and exploitation, I'm very happy about that. I'd have to see other aspects of their lives if you want me to label them, because there's some vegans who like all us vegans are concerned about animal cruelty and exploitation, but on top of that, they're complete a-holes, and I have banned them from coming to my channel. So I really need a case-by-case situation. I just can't give you a blanket statement about who is cool and who's not. It depends on their actions. Really, that's how I judge a person. Not on their appearances, but on their actions. And if they're an a-hole, they're an a-hole. And then they can be vegan a-holes. I've met plenty and banned many vegan a-holes. Veganism doesn't make you impervious from being an a-hole. That's cool. We're not really offended, ZGS, so it's all good. Bob, veganism has nothing to do with getting into heaven. I'm looking at your comment here to Drew. Submission to faith in God is the only way to, quote, live heavenly. Veganism is irrelevant to that. Yeah, veganism, again, that's why I use this definition. Someone's criticized me earlier why I use it. Because this is what veganism is. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. It's not a path to heaven. You can be a Christian vegan and be on your way to heaven, if you believe in heaven. Veganism is not going to help you any more to get to heaven than if you were eating McDonald's every day. I'm saying that it's irrelevant. Your diet is irrelevant. Your spiritual practice and beliefs and actions are way more relevant for you as a Christian to get into heaven. Your diet is not going to accelerate or hold you back. So I'm not sure why I even bring that up, Bob. Well, Bob, if we're talking about Gary Yourofsky, I don't know too much about him. I know he has some mental health issues. He probably had them before he was vegan. It's just who he is. He's an extreme kind of guy. What does that have to do with anything? He would have been that way if he wasn't vegan. I'm just saying, why are you bringing up your Gary Yourofsky as a reason not to be vegan or something? And Tosca, yeah, live in heavenly. It really doesn't have anything to do with anything that we're talking about here. This live stream is not about learn how to get into heaven with Ryan. How would you like that? Dun, 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 dun. Let's learn to get into heaven with Ryan. That'll be my little jingle. Let's learn to get into heaven with Ryan. That's my new show, guys. Let's learn. This is not what we're talking about here. We're discussing veganism. We're talking about animal cruelty and exploitation, not your journey to enter into the gates of heaven. That's not what this channel is about. I'm not making fun of anyone who believes that. I'm just saying that's not what we're here. That's not my purpose here. Anyway, he's the godfather of veganism. No, veganism has existed since the 1940s. Gary Yourofsky wasn't born until, the 1980s, I think. So he is not the godfather of veganism. He made a video in the 2000s, over 50 years since veganism has been around, that got wildly popular, in a relative sense, on YouTube, but doesn't make him the godfather of veganism. It just makes him someone who got popular in the early days of social media, talking about veganism. It's someone we all know because of that fact. Sarah, I don't get bunchy if someone thinks I don't do enough. I just do my best exactly and get on my lap. But if someone wants to judge me if I'm doing enough, that's on them. That's just them projecting. They're just projecting that, hey, I'm a really judgmental person. I'm going to judge people. It has nothing to do with me. So you have the right attitude, Sarah. You do you. Let them project, and they have their own issues. Their issues are not our issues. It's their issues alone, and they have to work through and sort them out if they want to ever improve. Vegan Han, the modern vegan. No, this is not true at all. I'm going to put you up on the wall. Not to shame you, but it's the only place I have. So sorry if I put you on the poop wall, Vegan Han. It's not to offend you. But it's so we can look at what you're saying here, because I think what you're saying is not right.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy.
Oops, sorry.
Giving you full credit, of course.
I'm having trouble with copy and paste right now. Here we go. All right, so let's check it out. Oops, here we go. There we go. The modern vegan society's definition is so bad. Why? Because it gives people misconceptions that you can be vegan for health and the environment. No, it doesn't say that. I mean, at the end, it says it has some implications, but it says here, it's the philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. I mean, that's how they lead it off there. I think it's pretty freaking clear that veganism is a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Why am I vegan? Because I don't want to see animals killed. And they say at the end, let's see, okay, alternatives for the benefit of animals, humans, and it has benefits for animals, humans, and the environment. Okay, it's just saying that there's some benefits for the environment. It doesn't say that, it's like an extension. If we are against animal cruelty and exploitation, we're not exploiting animals, we're not raising all these animals for food and all the enormous inputs that are needed to produce that food. Yeah, there are some environmental benefits, but that's a side benefit. The core belief of veganism couldn't be any clearer. According to this, it's about animal cruelty and exploitation. So I don't think any reasonable person would read that, as you're saying here, and have a misconception that it's about health and the environment. It doesn't even really say anything about health, does it? Let me look one more time. It doesn't even say anything about health in here. So where'd you get that part out? And it makes a slight mention at the end about environment, but doesn't go off on it. The clear punch in the face of this definition is animal cruelty and exploitation. So I'm not fighting with you. I just want to know, where do you get that it gives people that it's about health? Since you brought up health there, where do you, how does any reasonable person read this and come away with the idea, oh, it's about health? I'm just really not seeing that in any way, shape, or form. Just curious. Let me understand what you're saying here, because I know some vegans hate this definition, and I think it's, again, I'm not saying it's perfect. For all its flaws, it does a smacking job for dealing with people like Bob Hill and AAA, who, people we've had on our poop all night. So, just kind of curious, Vegan Han, how do you read the definition here and have a reasonable person come away with the idea that it's a health thing? Yeah, Tosca. I'm not saying, you can't go vegan for adopt a vegan diet for health reasons, and then later on learn more about the animal cruelty and exploitation involved in producing animal products. And hey, I'm gonna be vegan forever now. I came for help, and now I see the light about animal cruelty and exploitation. Yeah, then they're full on vegan. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not denying that, Tosca. I mean, that happens to a lot of people for sure. You got to go, Sarah. I'm glad to see you, Sarah. I'm glad you're back, and yeah, thanks for sticking around. 2 hours, 15 minutes long. Yeah, I should get going pretty soon too. Vegan Han, why are there so many so-called vegans claiming they're vegans for the health or vegan for the environment? Well, I agree with you. There are some people like that for sure. But it has nothing to do with this definition, Vegan Han. You made a very direct claim against the Vegan Society's definition, being responsible for people believing that veganism is about going vegan for your health. And I said I strongly disagree with your claim, because there's nothing about health. The word health or healthy or nothing like that is mentioned in this definition. But you raised a good point. Why do so many vegans think it's a health thing? Because they don't know what veganism is. That's why I like to show this definition. You can show other definitions. It's animal rights based. That's totally cool. But then I don't think that definition is as effective as this one here for responding to people like Bob Hill and others that constantly come onto my live stream, responding to Joe Rogan, Piers Morgan. I think this definition is a great slam dunk for 98% of the kinds of questions and misinformation I get asked or respond to about veganism. But I'm saying, I don't know. I think a lot of people don't know what veganism is. They think it's a health thing. It's not, but it's no fault of the Vegan Society. They say nothing in here about health. That's not the word health or healthy or anything like that. It's not in here. It's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. Right there, black and white. No, Dr. Bear. No, I haven't. I've had the busiest freaking week ever since my birthday. I've just been dealing with so many weird problems for the past 3 days. So I'm not sure when I'm gonna get a chance. I just haven't responded to any of these weird videos that come up lately. Like the lady fruitarian who starved herself to death or whatever. I haven't had a chance to look at any of those stories. So thanks for sharing with me, Dr. Bear. But I think I have it in my browser history. I'll check it out if I can find it again. I'll definitely check it out. So what do you think, vegan Han? Why do you think so many people think veganism has something to do with being a health movement or it's great for your health or something like that? I'm curious why do you think so many vegans or people who think they're vegan or say that they're vegan? I think a lot of people are confused about what veganism is, and that's why I think it's really good to show people what veganism is. And I think this definition is a pretty damn good one. Again, it's not perfect, but it's pretty damn good. I had a pretty good birthday, Dr. Bear. Yeah, we made that vlog about my birthday. It was like the best day I had this week. It was so perfect. And then Tuesday hit. Problems. Yesterday I was stuck at the DMV. Problems. You know, it's been pretty crazy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chat tip there. Much appreciated. Thank you. Yeah, I think we're not going to go out for dinner tonight, though. We already had we went to plant-powered fast food takeout, brought it home for lunch. So that was our big meal of the day, my last little birthday thing there. Yeah, Bob Hill, who dies from cholera? Oregon Trail stuff, 100%. Who dies from cholera? Raw foodists. That's who dies from cholera. And I'm not trying to speak bad of the dead, but yeah, more reason. There's so many people I've seen get malnourished from raw food diets. Some people don't, obviously, but a disproportionately high percentage of people on raw food diets end up having some kind of health problems, some minor, some major in this case, like death. Yeah, being stuck in the DMV for 3 hours when you had no intention or plan on being there. Yeah, unbeknownst to me, my driver's license expired on my birthday, and I figured it out yesterday. I was out somewhere. They saw my ID and said, holy crap, my driver's license expired on Monday. So fortunately, I was pretty close to a DMV, and it is a seventh circle of hell. I don't understand why they're so understaffed and just decorated so just grossly, you know. It's just so like unpleasant, you know. They couldn't have done a better job. Did they get a designer whose intent was to make it as unpleasant as possible? It's just everything about it's wrong. Even the photo that they take for you usually is completely hideous too, like a VD kind of photo, you know, that channel. Anyway, Daniel, what about doctors like Dr. John McDougall who advocate a starch-based vegan diet for health? Yeah, totally cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's really a vegan or not. I know he promotes vegan diets. I'm not sure he's a vegan, but yeah, starch diet, totally cool. I don't think you're going to have too many health problems with that. I wouldn't want to just do as much starch as he recommends, but it's fine. I've done it before. It's totally cool. Yeah, Hutchie4, vegan is a moral stance, not a diet. Who's saying it's a diet? Let's see. Oh, here's Vegan Han, where it says benefit of animals, humans, and the environment. It's then indirectly saying veganism is about health or the environment. No, it didn't say how it benefits humans. It could be in a way that's you're not thinking of. It didn't say health, just humans. It could just make our life better. It didn't say anything about you're having to put words in there. It does directly mention the word environment, Vegan Han, 100% there. But you notice how it's kind of a thing tacked on at the end. It's not like the slam dunk thing they come and hit you with at the beginning. A stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. That's what it says in big bold letters at the beginning. A philosophy and way of living seeks to exclude as far as possible and practical all forms of exploitation and cruelty to animals for food, clothing, or any other purpose. Then at the end, they tack on some stuff. It has some benefits like you pasted there. It doesn't mean that's what veganism is. It just says, yeah, in addition to being a stance against animal cruelty, there probably are some other benefits you might want to look into as well. But it's very clear that's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation. I don't see how a reasonable person, reads this definition of veganism and comes away, oh, so veganism is about health and the environment. No, you missed the crap right at the beginning. Not the crap, but the big heavy hitting propositions at the beginning of the definition here. Again, how does a reasonable person read this definition and come away with it? Oh, so veganism is about health. And yeah, I can see how they might come away. Okay, it's against animal cruelty and exploitation. Got it. And it has something to do with the environment, kind of, you know. I could see someone coming away with that interpretation. But again, how is that a bad thing, knowing that it's against animal cruelty and exploitation? And it has something to do with benefiting the environment. They don't say exactly how, you know. So I'm saying this isn't really making a big environmental statement about veganism. It just says, look into it. There's probably some environmental benefits that you could learn about on your own, but we're not going to tell them to you because this is about animal cruelty and exploitation. So I don't think this definition is as bad as you made it out to be. I don't think any reasonable person would read that definition and miss the animal cruelty and exploitation part and think it's a health and environmental thing. I mean, some unreasonable person could come away with that takeaway, but that wouldn't be the reasonable read of that definition. Wait, what did Bob say, Diablo? He's saying he's arguing to killing animals and being vegan. I totally missed that. Bob, I don't have time to get into that right now. If you're here, Bob, come by next week and I want to hear your argument how vegans need to kill animals. I want to hear that, please. Bring your best supporting argument for that. How vegans need to kill animals. But we don't have time for that right now, Bob. But I'll give you a week to churn it over in your mind and give me your argument how vegans need to kill animals. All right. So let's see. 2 hours, 25 minutes. I'll get going in a bit. In a short bit. Oh man, you got a feast to eat, Chris? Oh man, don't make me jealous because I don't think we have a feast on tap right now. Yeah, okay, the raw foodist who died was visiting some friends or family, whatever, in an undeveloped country. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't know what's for dinner, Uncle. I told you we had that plant-powered fast food about an hour before the live stream, so I'm not sure what we're going to do for dinner tonight. I don't know. I have no clue. I don't know if Angie's got anything going. I'm not smelling anything from back here, and she's probably kind of full still too, I imagine, because we didn't eat that long ago, and she hasn't been like me, using all this brain power, shouting at Bob Hill and stuff like that. So she's probably doing a little bit better than I am conserving energy. And plus I went to the gym today too, so I blew through like 600-700 calories. Let's see, so Diablo is having a conversation with Bob. So Diablo is saying, at Bob Hill, you are aspiring plant-based. So that means you acknowledge killing animals are bad. And Bob said, I lost it. Mostly health reasons and an opportunity to claim diet superiority over friends and family. What are you talking about here? Huh? What does that have to do with veganism? Because that's not what veganism is. We don't claim superiority. We shouldn't. I mean, it's just a stance against animal cruelty. If that makes you feel like a badass, great, but don't go around saying I'm better than you or something like that, because that's being an a-hole. Okay, vegan Han, back to the vegan definition. I'm not saying that the definition says that about, it's an environmental or health movement, that it's about health and environment. I'm saying people can get the wrong idea. Again, I just disagree with you. I don't see how anyone, a reasonable person reading this definition, how do they take away from this that it's about health and the environment? It says right up front, it's a stance against animal cruelty and exploitation, and they mention environment, but they never say health. They say benefit of humans and animals. They don't really say what the benefits to humans are. So really, it's one's own mind that infers that they mean health. I've read this definition literally like 1,000 times, and I didn't ever interpret that humans part to be health, but I see how it could be interpreted as that. Again, that's not their wording. I think you're raising a concern that only a small percentage of people would misread this definition and come away with it that has nothing to do with animal cruelty and exploitation. I would surmise that, I would estimate 99% of people who read this definition be pretty clear. It has something to do with not harming the animals, right? I mean, I can't be held responsible of a small percentage of people misread. I mean, people will misread anything, right? It's not just the definition of veganism. I used to teach. I was a prison review tutor for a long time. I know how people can misread things. So I'm not responsible for that. And I don't think the vegan society should be responsible that some people just have trouble understanding what they're reading. It's not their fault. It's the fault of human brains. Anyway, Hutchie, apparently I'm not doing it for health. Good for you. See, I have no problem with people who don't give a crap about the health benefits or anything of vegan diets. I don't care. I mean, I care for myself because I'm an old fart and I don't have kids to take care of me if I become sick and unhealthy. So I gotta stay healthy so I can live a long life and be able to walk around and drive to the doctors when I'm 95 or whatever. You know, I got to try to be able to be as self-independent as possible. Diablo Sal tells Bob, yeah, veganism is an animal rights movement. Exactly. Bob says that's not the definition. Diablo says, yeah, it's an animal rights movement. I'm not sure what Bob's trying to argue tonight here. I'm a little confused. I guess, well, a little burp there. Ooh, I tasted my burger for a second. I guess I didn't read enough of what the conversation was. Hutchie, you ride 150 miles a week. Oh, you do care about your health then. All right, cool. Good for you. That's a lot. I mean, if you're a hardcore cyclist, that's nothing, right? But for your average person, average cyclist, that's pretty darn good. Okay, Vegan Han, let's move on. Oh, you want to discuss one more thing about the definition, Vegan Han? Let's do it. I'll put you up on the wall again, okay? Oops. All right, got it. Copy.
I'm going to leave your words on this board for all my classes to enjoy, giving you full credit, of course.
All my classes do enjoy here. All my cult members here. Okay, we can put the health and environment aside. Let's take the possible and practical part. That is also really vague, and people can, again, interpret this how they like. I mean, people can, I didn't get all of interpret. Let me get that in here, my bad. Veganism debunked. Ryan is having, trouble controlling all elements of his live stream here. Let me get back in it. No, I think the possible and practical part, if you really understand what the definition says, yeah, anyone can misread anything. As I said, Vegan Han, anyone can misread anything. But the possible and practical, I think, is extremely clear. And I know a lot of people have issue with this, but I will debate this to the end because I don't see the huge problem with it. Let's look at the definition once again here. Ding. Philosophy and way of living which seeks to exclude as far as possible and practicable all forms of animal cruelty and exploitation. As far as possible and practicable. Let's say we learned that in order to drive a car, there's animal products in the tires. I know that's not true. I know there's vegan lines of tires, but let's say that didn't exist. So what are vegans supposed to do? We can't ever drive a car? Then how are we supposed to get to our jobs? Well, people will say, well, ride the bus. Well, the bus has tires too. So I'm saying, yeah, it's not really practicable to ask vegans to not go to their place of employment so they can make a living to pay their bills and support their family. That's what that means. It means you don't have to be perfect. If there's some animal products in the tires that you're using to get to work, okay. I mean, we have to do things that normal people, non-vegans do, like work and support our families. I don't see how that's vague or how people would misinterpret that. It's just saying vegans are not perfect. In my mind, that's the intent of the possible and practicable. It means, once again, vegans are not perfect. It's not an ideal where if complete 100% perfection is not obtained. Veganism is null and void, and we all should eat steak. No, just saying, do the best you can. If you are a poor, starving college student, and your parents give you a car with leather seats, and that's all you can't afford to buy your own. What are you going to do? Not drive it? How are you going to get to work or school or something like that? Do the best you can. You're still vegan. If you are wealthy or well-to-do and you have a job and you intentionally, as a vegan, go out and buy a car with leather seats, then that's completely not vegan. Why would you choose to have cruelty in your car when you could choose to pay less and not have cruelty in your car? See what I'm saying? As far as possible and practical, it's very possible and practical for someone with the means that can afford leather seats to buy a car with not leather seats. But if your parents are gifting it to you and you're butt poor, you might not have any other options. I think it's so easy to understand the intention here. You're not perfect. Do the best you can. And no one that has a job has to buy a car with leather seats. Yeah, John Stephen, what they're saying is the irony, the sarcasm of your comment there, John. Vegans can't drive cars, wear any clothing, or take a step. In fact, just stay home and breathe. Don't turn anything on either. Exactly. Vegans can use electricity, even though there might be some problems with electricity harming something somewhere. We need to be able to do things that let us function in society. You know, if you need to take an air flight to go somewhere for business or pleasure, whatever, doesn't say vegans can never fly an airplane because it might run into a duck or something like that. I mean, again, that's what the possible and practical means, that we don't have to be perfect. Veganism doesn't require perfection. That's how I see it. I don't see why so many people think those words are so vague. No, it just means we're not perfect. That's all it means. When you see those words, possible and practical, tell yourself what Ryan says. It just means we're not perfect. It doesn't require perfection. Do the best you possibly can, given your economic situation, where you're at in life. I'm not saying that just as an excuse to go eat meat or something like that. I'm just saying these things like, like rubber tires, that might have an animal product in there. It's things like that. These little tiny things that we might not be able to control. What do you think about that? What do you think about that, Vegan Han? I got your name right there. What do you think about my understanding of possible and practicable? Do you disagree? That's a good question, DWSL. Yeah, why doesn't Bob Hill try a vegan 22-day challenge? Like, what have you got to lose? You're not going to die in those 22 days from like vegan malnutrition or something like that, you know? Why don't you try going vegan for 22 days, huh? You've gone vegan 3 weeks at a time. You've reduced your animal product intake. I just don't agree with the militant side. You don't have to. There's Bob. Okay, I'm not a fan of the militant side of veganism. Fine. Okay, don't watch them. No one says you have to watch people you dislike. If I don't like any certain vegan content creators, I just don't watch them. In fact, I'll even block them if they're a pain in the ass. So who cares saying, I don't want to be vegan because a small subset of them are assholes. Is that what you're saying? Because I'm not an asshole and there's plenty of nice people here too. So who cares? Who cares? There's people like the people you mentioned there. They don't represent veganism. You know, if you look at the definition of veganism, or if you go to a vegan festival, you're not seeing those guys speak there. Those guys are like usually not looked upon as like good representatives of veganism because of their extreme like sociopathic behaviors and personalities and ways of just attacking people. They're not the ones up speaking, giving keynotes at vegan festivals. So don't use them as like the representatives of vegan. Most vegans have never heard of those people you're talking about, particularly the YouTuber one. You ask most people, have they heard of any vegan? Have they heard of those guys? Especially the YouTuber. Most people say no, never heard of them. So don't say you can't be vegan because of some weird extreme people. I mean, there's extreme non-vegans, you know what I'm saying? There's extreme carnivore people, there's extreme paleo people, there's extreme Mediterranean diet people who are a-holes, there's extreme people in anything. You go to a stamp collecting forum, there's some mean assholes. You go to a BTS forum, there's some complete mean people on there, horrible, despicable humans. Not all of them, there's some. I've seen some that are just worse than any carnivores I've ever seen, just really horrible people. They'll attack you for not liking the right song. They're just lowlifes, you know. You can like any song you want. It's a free country. Again, I'm not attacking BTS Army. I'm talking about some certain ones who will attack you because you listen to the wrong solo artist or you're listening to them too much. Like, no, we're free people. We all have the choice to listen to what we want. Anyway, hey, Joseph Logan. Okay, Vegan Han, let's see if you liked my explanation about possible and practicable. No, I definitely agree right there. Cool, awesome. I still don't think we need the possible and practical in there. Here's why I like it. Here's why I like that part of the definition. I said that their definition probably is, I know, it suits my purposes. My purposes being responding to anti-vegans and misinformation, typically from anti-vegans. The possible and practicable is a gold mine for me because so many people, like, have you seen my videos responding, like, say, Piers Morgan, TikTok Beef Lady? Watch my past videos from the past 2 months. You'll know what I'm talking about. They define veganism in such a way that no vegan could ever possibly be vegan because they define it in such a way that if there's any harm, if you step on an ant, or the food that you're eating killed a bee, you're not vegan. Or TikTok Beef Lady saying if you drove a car that had a tire, or if you use a computer or cell phone, you're not vegan. So that's why the possible and practicable is such a extremely powerful tool for my purposes. Yeah, for other vegan activists, they probably don't need that part. But since my specialty, and I want to emphasize the word specialty, is responding to anti-vegans and misinformation from anti-vegans, I need that part of the definition. It's an extremely powerful way to show that veganism is not about perfection. And anyone who defines it like that doesn't know what veganism is. We do the best we can. And if there happens to be an animal product in a cell phone, which there's not, but say there was, well, what are we supposed to do? We're never supposed to use any digital technology. I can't go and do my job here. I have to become homeless or something like that. That's not what veganism is asking you to do. So that's why I enjoy that part of the definition. I not only enjoy it, I think it's an extremely powerful tool for my purposes here. Anyway, but yeah, a lot of other vegan activists don't do what I do. They have different forms of activism, and the possible and practical part is typically never needed for them. And I get that, and they're, yeah, totally cool, you know, but for what I do, it's a slam dunk. Veganism defined 1951. Well, I told you, I very much appreciate the 1949 definition. Right here, do they have the 51? Yeah, I just have the 49 one. 1949, before Leslie J. Cross pointed out that the society lacked a definition of veganism. He suggested, Leslie Cross, the principle of the, I know it's not what you're asking, but I love this definition, the principle of the emancipation of animals from exploitation by man. In other words, we're against animal exploitation. We're against animal exploitation. Then later on, they added on the cruelty part. Then they covered as far as possible and practical. Yeah, we can't be perfect. We need to drive cars or get to work, use electricity. We're not perfect beings. You know, we're not zero harm. So I personally see the modern definition as an extension, not a rewrite, but they had the modern definition as the foundation. Don't exploit animals. Then they add on, don't be cruel to animals. We're against that. And it's a philosophy and a way of living. It is a way of living and a philosophy. It's a belief you have. It's a philosophy and a way of living. Living in a way where you're living in accordance with your moral beliefs of being against animal cruelty and exploitation. I think it's a really, once you unpack the definition, I see more and more brilliance about it than I see problems. Yeah, again, I agree. It's not a perfect definition, but I think its virtues outweigh its flaws, in my opinion. And again, I said it works wonderfully. It's by far the best definition for my purposes as a vegan misinformation responder. All right, we'll see what this one says for you. All right, browse the web here. Let's look up the one you're suggesting here. Okay. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's what it says. Yeah, that's basically an extension of the 1949 definition, just adding a few more words to it. It's the same concept. The 49 one said, basically, don't exploit animals. This one says, the doctrine that man shall live without exploiting animals. Yeah, that's pretty much the 1949 definition. I love it. And they've extended onto it not only exploitation, but cruelty. It's more than just animal exploitation. It's cruelty to animals as well. And it's a philosophy and a way of living. Philosophy, it's the belief that it's wrong to exploit animals, wrong to be cruel to animals. And it's a way of living, not consuming animal products. Why? Because of the philosophy, this belief here. So yeah, you can see how it's like an edifice. They laid the first bricks, they added some more, but it's the same foundation. It's the same principle of being against animal exploitation. So yeah, it's a fine definition. Totally love it. But it doesn't have all the tools that I find so powerful that I use every day in responding to all these misinformation, and from anti-vegans. And see, don't worry, be happy says, the object of the society shall be to end the exploitation of animals by man. And the word veganism shall mean the doctrine that man should live without exploiting animals. Yeah, I guess I only showed part of it there. I love it. I love that definition. Again, it's the foundation from which the current form of the definition exists. The current definition would not exist without these 1949 and 1951 definitions. I just have more modern tools at my disposal to use against Joe Rogan and Piers Morgan and Bob Hill. I want me to click down further. Let's see if there's something I need to see here. Okay, yeah, that's what I just read there. This part here, yeah. I like it. Yeah, I tell you, I have no problems with that. But I really like having the extra tools that the modern definition provides me. Yep, that's all I'm saying. This is a great foundation, and the new additions make my job so much better, so much more powerful. Dr. Bear, yeah, agreed. I think it's a great definition, very useful and easy to understand. Yeah, vegan zombies, cool. Yeah, I like the 51 definition too. I want to be absolutely clear. I'm not knocking the 1951 definition whatsoever. I think those older definitions are fine. And I don't use old in a bad sense. I just refer to them, from being 1940s and 1950s. Perfectly wonderful definitions. And if you want to use those as your definitions, I think you're an awesome person. Just for my job, responding to vegan misinformation, anti-vegan misinformation, I especially appreciate the modern definition for the extra tools it provides me. So anyway, but yeah, every definition has its pluses and minuses. Every definition is subject to misinterpretation, whether intentional or not. I can't control that, but I think for pretty much any flaw that someone can allege about the modern definition, I can respond to it in a pretty solid way. As Vegan Han brought up some good some points about the modern definition today, and it's obvious I thought about these so-called problems, and I have my cogent responses for them, and I think my responses are very sound. I'm not making any giant leaps of interpretation. I think they're based in very, very rational interpretations. Yeah, that's a fine definition too, Vegan Han. But what do you say? I'm just curious. Your definition there is fine, and same with the 1951 definition. I'm just wondering, if someone says, okay, so do you drive a car, your car has your tire has vegan parts in it. What do you say about that? Because they could argue, well, an animal was exploited in order for you to have your tire so you can get around. So I'm just curious, how do you respond to that? I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. I'm just curious, how do you approach that? Because your definition that you're using there doesn't give you the tool, the line you can point at to say, well, that's not what veganism is. So I'm just curious how you deal with the imperfections of veganism, how we're not perfect, harm-free people as vegans. How do you, as a person who prefers the older definitions, how do you respond to people when they bring up how you're not perfect? Just curious. Oh, Bob likes the expanded definition better. Wow, I wonder why. Wow. It demonstrates that veganism is a moral imperative and a matter of justice. Yeah, that's some deep philosophical thinking there. If someone wants to go down that road and construct a book or argument about that, more power to them. Joe's roaches? I didn't know Joe Rogan was concerned with roaches there, Astral. Patricia's asking Vegan Han, what do the older definitions from 1951 or 49 have to do with the here and now in 2023? As I said, those were the definitions that the Vegan Society used back then. And the way I see it, and I think this is a really reasonable way of seeing this, it's essentially the same definition. They laid the foundation. Yeah, veganism has something to do with animal exploitation rather than health or environment. It's about animals. They laid the foundation with those older definitions, and the modern one is just an extension of that edifice, the foundation definitions. They just put more on top of it, but kept the same principle of the definition intact. So anyway, yeah, that's how they're connected there, Patricia. It's just the foundation for the current definition. Those older definitions are the foundation for the current definition. It's the same concept. Wow, it was cooler in Mexico than in Oregon? I'll believe that. Wow. The power of choice is in you. Are you talking to Bob, Uncle? I don't think Bob wants to choose. Mr. Bear doesn't really like hot weather. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of hot weather too, Dr. Bear. John Steven, good point here. You're saying veganism debunked because harvesters and rodents. Yeah, the combine harvester argument. Exactly. Those arguments are all over Facebook and you're tired of it. That's why I love the modern definition of veganism, because these older ones really, I think, have a hard time, or at least I would say a more difficult time responding to like these combine harvester arguments or Piers Morgan's the bees and the almonds argument. I think this current definition, the modern definition of veganism, says, hey, we're not perfect. If a rodent gets harmed or an insect gets harmed, as far as possible and practical, it might not be possible to harvest 1,000,000 tons of any plant without harming anything. It's just how life is. We live in an imperfect world. It doesn't mean veganism is debunked. Ooh, I forgot the ding. Thank you. Vegan Han, so to those people, you say veganism is about living without exploiting animals intentionally. Good, but that's not what those definitions say. See what I'm saying? You already proved my point here, that those early definitions, as brilliant, ingenious as they are, and I think they are, they have some areas that they have some weaknesses, and that's it right there. You had to extend the definition by adding the word intentionally in. And I just want to show you once again how in these older definitions, there is no mention of intentional here. See how you had to add that in? So that's my point. I think these early vegan definition pioneers saw early on that their definition couldn't properly respond to like these anti-vegans like Piers Morgan and Joe Rogan and all that, even those guys aren't around back. What I'm saying is, you already see there you found a need to extend the definition there. And that's all I'm saying. That's all that's happened since 1949 and 51. Extensions to the definition have been made to address some of its shortcomings. Again, so the definition is brilliant, but it has some shortcomings. Every definition has some shortcomings, but over time, over the decades, I think they're trying to tie up any of those loose ends. Yeah, it becomes a little bit verbose by 2023, but they try to keep it as succinct as possible. But, it's hard when you're trying to plug little holes over the years. So, did I not hit the drink thing again there? My bad. I've shown the definition a lot. I guess because we're talking about it. But I think you proved my point there, Vegan Han, that you found yourself extending the definition by adding the word intentional. So that's my whole point there. That's why I use the modern definition, because it's already there. I didn't have to do any freelancing. I didn't have to rewrite the definition myself. I'm using the definition that's up there and verbatim. I can use their definition verbatim and respond to pretty much any anti-vegan I encounter anywhere. That's the brilliance of the definition. Yeah, it doesn't include certain terminology like animal rights, which I believe animals have rights, obviously. I'm not sure how they squeeze that into the definition exactly, and while retaining everything it has now without it getting like even longer. So I guess that's one of the shortcomings. That is one of the shortcomings. But again, how do you have everything in the definition without it being like 1,000 words? After a while, a definition, once it hits too many words, it loses its effectiveness as a definition. There's like a sweet spot for a definition, and it's already getting kind of long. Vegan Han, okay, great discussion. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your insights and opinions. I understand better now. Thank you, Vegan Han. I'm glad you enjoy my responses here. You find them reasonable. And yeah, let people know that if they want to discuss the definition with me, I'm really open to it. And let people know. I know some people think I hate the older definitions, and far from it. I just find the new one a very powerful and effective tool for dealing with any and all anti-vegan nonsense that I encounter online or in person. And I don't have to change the definition a word. But yeah, it's not perfect, but it's perfect for my job. Dr. Bear, prefer not using the animal rights definition. Yeah, I believe animals have rights, but yeah, I think it becomes tricky getting the animal rights baked into the definition. There's some pros to that, but there's some cons as well. But anyway, you prefer not using the animal rights definition of veganism because a lot of non-vegans don't believe animals have rights. Exactly. That's how you can end the discussion right there. A lot of people say, I just don't care. I don't believe animals have rights. Well, then how do you progress further in defending veganism if someone says, I just don't think animals have rights? If I encounter them in person, I can ask them questions and elicit from them that they really do. They do believe animals have rights. Very few people truly believe animals have zero rights, but they love to talk a tough talk. But I find the practical and possible one more useful when talking to non-vegans. Yeah, the possible and practical is a super powerful tool to dispel these perfection people. I think vegans are about perfection. Omar, I have no idea. What do you think? Human supremacy will eventually cause an economic and system collapse. It's kind of happening, sort of. I don't know if it's from human supremacy. It could be from human stupidity more than anything. But yeah. Veggie machine. Yeah, bees aren't even killed for vegans anyway. They're killed by mites, and they're killed for a business model to make money. Yeah, exactly. Why are the bees being eaten by the mites? Because someone is trying to exploit the bees to produce some plants for them. Yeah, good point, Diablo. So people that say, well, I don't think animals have any rights. Yeah, you point out with people like, it's pretty much impossible to talk sense with them. Yeah, if they're going to have that point of view. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Bear says, yeah, I just mean if I use an animal rights-based definition, non-vegan just say, I don't believe animals have rights. But they wouldn't say they agree with animal cruelty. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's one thing to say animals have no rights, and it's another to say, yeah, animal cruelty, yeah, is okay. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? It's a huge difference. So easy to say, I don't believe animals have rights, but it's one thing. Another thing, you may seem kind of sociopathic. Yeah, harm all animals is no problem. You know, that makes you sound pretty, extreme and crazy. Yeah, they're already set and don't care. Exactly, Diablo. So, hey, Vegan Han, true. When you're trying to argue against anti-vegans, I can perhaps see why the modern definition, it is better. Trust me. If the older ones were better, I would be using them, Vegan Han. I'll use the best tools at my disposal. And the modern one, take it from me, someone who's been making all these response videos to anti-vegans, responding to them in real time on these live streams. Trust me, the modern one is better for that specific purpose. But when explaining to everyday person what veganism, yeah, you can do that. I agree with you. Yeah, good point. Use one definition for one context, just talking to people, chilling, and another one when you're doing battle or whatever. Yeah, I agree. That's a good way to split it up, Vegan Hunt. I agree 100%. Yeah, I don't even get into all that stuff. I just tell them we're against animal cruelty and exploitation, which is pretty much an extension of the 1940 and 51 definition. Because I had the cruelty in. They mentioned exploitation. I just add in the cruelty part. I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. So simple, a child can understand that. It's great. Good night, Astral. So Dr. Bear thinks it's more efficient to use the possible and practicable because I don't have to spend time convincing non-vegans that animals do have rights. Yes, that's the downside of going with the animals' rights approach. So every definition has its pros and cons, its upsides, its downsides. No definition is perfect. If you add one thing onto it, it's going to kind of take something away from it on the other side. So I'm saying you just have to find which one works best for you. And they all pretty much say the same thing, just saying it a little differently. But the animal rights ones is harder to use in the context that I find myself in day to day. You don't have to convince them animal cruelty is wrong. Pretty much I've said anyone who's not a sociopath sees that going up to an animal and hitting it with a stick or slitting the throat does present some problems as far as cruelty goes. Okay, you agree with me, Vegan Han. I'm not probably right. I'm pretty sure I'm right there. That the modern definition is better for arguing against anti-vegans. Yeah, take it from me. It's been an indispensable tool. 100. Okay, Hutchie, you're like me. In a normal conversation, you say the same thing too. Yeah, I'm against animal cruelty and exploitation. It's so easy. You don't have to talk about anything else. That's it. Just keep it simple. Animal cruelty and exploitation. So yeah, just get it as simple as possible. I never spout the definition out when I'm talking to someone in real life, unless I'm joking or something like that, Agreed, Bob. Wow, I've never seen AJ say that ever. What did Bob say? Bob saying at Omar, vegan, runs human ingenuity unfettered by socialist planning will ensure humanity continues to thrive. Wow, I don't even understand what that means. Maybe I'm tired. Yeah, Vegan Han, unless you're doing something weird like me, yeah, you're not arguing against anti-vegans on a near daily basis. You're in a lucky position. Yeah, for me, I got to do what's going to make my advocacy and my arguments for veganism as strong as possible and as powerful as possible. So that's what I'm going for. Dealing with anti-vegans and showing in a very clear and powerful manner how what they're saying is complete crap. What do I think of fruitarianism? What do you think of fruitarianism, Omar Vegan Runs? AJ, I have no idea what's for dinner. I'm not sure if Angie's gonna make us anything or not. Maybe I'll just have some like oatmeal tonight or something. But yeah, we had the vegan fast food right before to do my final birthday celebration here. Okay, what's AJ's interpretation of there? I take it to mean no government stifling of human ingenuity will cause civilization to thrive. No government stifling of human ingenuity will cause civilization. That sounds about right. Yeah, basically we don't want fascists controlling our creativity and what we can do and say as far as artists and philosophers and business, something like that. Is that what you're saying? Don't worry, be happy. What's stance of Buddhism on veganism? I don't consider myself to be a vegan scholar. I kind of there's plenty of books and about Buddhism, philosophy, and all that stuff. I kind of keep it simple. I just kind of look at what Buddha said, and to me, it's like Christians who just kind of like look at what Jesus said and don't worry too much about all the other stuff, all the theology and stuff. I'm kind of simple like that. It seems pretty clear to me. It's having compassion for all sentient beings. So how can that philosophy of having compassion for all sentient beings be compatible with eating them for dinner? You know what I'm saying? To me, it seems like a 100% clear slam dunk. If that is truly a belief of Buddha, as I understand Buddhism, having compassion for all sentient beings, I don't think I'm misinterpreting. I've participated in ceremonies where I'm for the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, compassion for all sentient beings. It's like that seems to be a central precept. So to me, it seems like a slam dunk. So I'm shocked that so many Buddhists I see eat meat. I don't understand. How do they reconcile that? It's like being vegan and eating meat. It's like, that's why veganism, as the definition says, is wrong one. It's a philosophy and way of living. You have the philosophy, compassion for all sentient beings, and you have a way of living. Don't put the sentient beings in your mouth. It just, to me, it seems like a slam dunk. So I must not be understanding Buddhism wrong, or there's a lot of Buddhist hypocrites. I'm not sure. One of the two. I need to talk with more Buddhists about this. Omar, yes. I want to see your opinion of fruitarian diets, and I'm not a fan of fruitarian diets. For I didn't read your comment very carefully, but it looks like you're pointing out nutritional issues, and I agree with you there. Dr. Bear is saying to AJ that Bob thinks socialism, like what we have in many European countries, what we have in, say, in Australia, means the government stifling human ingenuity. Like there's no human ingenuity in worker co-ops or Nordic democratic socialist country. Really, there's no ingenuity in any like European country that has like social medicine or something like that. That's a pretty interesting theory. Don't worry, be happy. Okay, you think my take on Buddhism isn't all that wrong. Okay, I don't think my take was all that wrong, but I would love to discuss it with a more Buddhist scholar than me. Maybe I'm looking at it too simply, but it seems pretty clear. If you have compassion for a sentient being, how in the hell can you eat that sentient being? It doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, thank you, Uncle. Thank you for the post-happy birthday. Thanks, Vegan Han. Hey, make sure you're subscribed to our channel. I don't recall seeing you in our comments or in our live stream chat before, but yeah, follow us if you like our what we're doing with veganism, responding to anti-vegan information. You got to see more videos of me pulling out the modern definition of veganism. See me use it in action in real time. See how I utilize it. So yeah, make sure you follow us and come back to our live streams. We do this every Friday. So I start at 6 p.m. Pacific, which was 3 hours ago. So whatever time that is for you, I'll be back. Dr. Bear, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot one of you. I forgot who blocked Bob. I couldn't remember if it was you or AJ. Okay, it was you. Okay, so you're not sure what he's saying exactly. Bob likes to talk about lots of weird stuff that's not really related to veganism. You know, I wish he would keep it more focused here than going off on his kind of like Christian capitalism thing, which is not the focus of this channel. Vegan Han wants to know, since my name is Happy Healthy Vegan, just a name, doesn't really mean anything specific, but anyway, what is the healthiest plant-based diet in my opinion? I'm not into like, you know, contests like that, you know, this is healthier than that, that's even healthier than this, you know, I'm not into that kind of thing, but I will say that from everything I've learned in my 13 years of being vegan and reading, I shouldn't say reading, being an evidence-based vegan, meaning I don't believe in woo-woos or anything like that. I follow what the evidence says. It just sounds like a well-planned, basic, whole food, plant-based diet. You don't have to do anything fancy like do starch solution or raw or anything like that. Just simple whole food plants. Again, just stuff like we got in our book here, the Happy Healthy Vegan Cookbook. Whole food plants. Sure, you don't have to eat whole food plants 24/7. You can go get a vegan burrito like I did today, or a vegan burger. Just simple whole food plants. There's simple tofu scramble with potatoes. Let's pull out another one at random here. If you're, is this a Canadian or Southern dish here? Hoppin' John. Yeah, it's a Southern dish. Yeah, it's black-eyed peas, you know, rice and some veggies and potatoes. Split pea soup. Let's see, white bean and eggplant chili. Just whole food freaking plants. You know, that if that's what your goal is, to do veganism in a really healthy way. Is there a healthier way to do it? I don't think so. There might be. I don't know. I know it's pretty damn healthy. I haven't seen any doctor say, "Oh no," my vegan doctors, when they see what I mean, they're stoked. They don't say, "Oh my God, you're eating too many beans and potatoes. Stop it. You're going to die," or something like that. So yeah, I think that seems to be the consensus amongst most vegan and plant-based health professionals that I've seen. Pretty much all of them are in agreement that whole food plants is the way to go, if that's your thing. But yeah, have some fun. Have some booze once in a while. If you want, if you have problems with substance abuse, then don't ever have any booze once in a while. Never do it. But yeah, just, you know, I'm saying you don't have to be perfect as far as eating 100% healthy 100% of the time. Unless that's your goal in life, then go for it. Vegan Han, you already subbed, just mentioned it's your first time here. Okay, awesome, cool. Well, I'm glad you popped in tonight. Ryan's the anti-vegan Terminator. He's back, and I'm back always using that good old modern definition of veganism. Slaying non-vegans with my logic and my definition interpretations. All right, I think I should get going here. Bob, you can come back next week. Next time, talk to me more, Bob, and let's talk more about veganism rather than socialism or how you need to follow your religion in order to understand killing people's wrong. Let's talk about plants. Let's talk about animals. So anyway, all right, guys, this is a long live stream. I guess we had a lot of lively things to discuss tonight. So I thank everyone who stayed with me for a whopping 3 hours and 11 minutes. Wow, guys, thank you. Your dedication is cool. Maybe what we talk about is just so interesting. I appreciate that you guys are into it. So thank you so much. Thanks, Uncle, for being here and keeping us our trolls in check and our bad people banned. I saw you ban 1 or 2 people. Thank you. I was about to ban them too. I saw, oh, Uncle just banned them. Awesome. So thank you so much. Thank you for all our viewers. Thank you for all especially our channel members too. If you guys aren't already, all the people have little green things next to their names there, those little badges that gives you some special access. I told you, Angie used to be has been our creator of all our vlogs, you know, what we do in a day videos, and she was just getting really bummed out. Every time she made a vlog, all these anti-vegans would sift through it and make all these hate videos. So just like, why would she do that? Why would she subject herself to that? So anyway, she started making vlogs again for all our channel members, and she's really into it. So you can start at like, I think 99 cents a month. It's barely nothing. You know, it goes to help our activism. Every little bit helps because we are still a relatively small channel. Despite our large subscriber count, most of those people came from like pre-2017. The algorithm at YouTube hates us lately. So anyway, I'm trying to say it goes to a good cause, and you can get our extra content of our pretty much weekly vlogs from Angie, our Ryan and Angie members only live streams. You get that too. And a few other special goodies. The link is down in the show notes. Click the show description, or if you're on the web page or on Android, you can click the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for being here with me again on a very what's the word I saw? Lively, a very lively live stream after a couple pretty chill ones. I remember last Friday, my birthday live stream, I got the gift of no trolls. I don't know what happens. I thank you, trolls, for being respectful on my birthday. Really, that was really the best present I could ask from you, trolls. But thanks everyone for all the birthday wishes. Thanks for everyone that gave me belated birthday tips tonight. It's going to go to a good cause, I assure you. Keeping our vegan activism on social media alive, me doing the response videos to all the anti-vegans. I can't keep up. There's every day some more nonsense to deal with. So anyway, I'm going to try to make a video next week. Unlike this week, I just got caught up in so much problems, technical problems, credit card problems, driver's license problems all week. It's been really frustrating, but I think they're mainly sorted out now, so I can get back to my life of not problems. All right, guys. So yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, look forward to a new video or two next week. I'm not sure what Angie's vlog schedule is, but yeah, at least one, hopefully 2 videos next week. Live stream next Friday, and we'll keep going on. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Hit like, subscribe, join, and remember, until next time, don't suck being vegan. All right, bye guys. Take care. Much love.